Okay, so here we are. Got all the details ironed out, I hope. Think you got a grasp of your character?
Yes.
Okay, so let's kick it off. You've been hired by the Duke. I forgot the Duke's name real fast, but what matters is not the Duke.
You
Um,
come. Eh.
what matters is that the Duke hired you to find a cult that has been supposedly stirring up some problems, like, the kind that could lead to a coup, and Dukes don't like themselves a coup. Coups are bad stuff. So you were hired. You're a hero. You've got mythic powers. You're the kind of person fit for this kind of job. To start cleaning up. Let me see. Ah, here I go. The name's Dan Astraban. Although he also
Let
goes
me write
by
that
Alik
down.
to those that know him a bit better. Um, the point is, he hired you. You've been following trails. It's been hard to find this cult. You've been at it for like 2 weeks. You've been asking questions, taking names, looking around. They are remarkably well hidden, or lots of people are supporting them. Eventually, you pick up a trail, something a little bit unusual. You hear that there's been a remarkable increase in the kobold population in Tel Bakir, the city to the south of Tel Alim, the capital. Um, within Tel Bakir it's basically the place, the biggest black market around. The whole city is filled with thieves and scum, and they kind of just tolerate it because if it's just all here, it won't be over there. So they've been allowing it. You found a trail. It leads you straight to the market, and you are now standing on the market. It's busy around you as usual. Um, for now, it seems quiet. Roll me a perception check.
All right.
Your little kobold buddy standing right beside you.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, frick, I need to adjust all these things.
Let's see what we can send. Click. Not a very reasonable roll, but I'll have to roll with it, I suppose. Could you give me the name of the Duke again? Don Esteban or something?
Let me copy it for you so you have it on hand.
Thank you.
He has introduced himself by his full name, so you know his secondary name.
Cool. Brown
Um,
Esteban. Okay.
yeah, Tisak doesn't notice anything either. He's got his eye out, but an eye's an eye, and that's all you can do. Um, are you going to do anything at the market?
Well, we have been asking around this place, so I would imagine, unless we're very, very lucky, asking some more will not produce any discernible results. So,
You start to notice something unusual as you sort of
we
look
do.
around looking for something unusual. You notice something
Mm-hmm.
unusual, so you've achieved your objective. And you notice that there's hooded figures. Now, there's lots of hooded figures because you're on the black market. Naturally, the people here don't want to be recognized or want to have as low a profile as possible. But these figures, they're kind of circling you like vultures.
Okay, that isn't good. I'm gonna keep my weapon at the ready then. After all, it is a short spear. I can use it as a walking stick, so I can keep it handy, so they don't get the jump on me.
Suddenly, as you keep your hand ready, you hear a loud shouting of "Get him!" and several figures descend down upon you. Roll me a reflex check. I need to roll a attack check on them. Oh. Okay, so you notice that Tisak is quickly pushed aside. Like, your little kobold buddy is given a shove off and away. Um, and they just start descending down upon you. You have time, however, to respond. What are you going to do as they come from all sides? Like, they are surrounding you.
Uh, will it be possible for me to attempt to knock them down with the spear? Just swipe the legs.
Roll strength.
1 second.
Or roll CMB. It's a bit higher.
CMB. Okay.
I'm going to pull up my notes. Okay. You take a sweep. You knock some of them down, but some of them are behind you, and they're trying to get it. They're trying to get a grip on you, but they just can't. You're too strong. You are a big bad guy, and even with like the 8 of them, they can't seem to get a grip on you. Um,
Haha.
in fact, one of them that you knock over like is unconscious. He hits the ground pretty hard. You do, however, notice that they seem to have like strange claw devices on their hands that makes it very easy to grab onto you, and they're trying to use their weight to pull you down now.
So those are like grapplers. Okay.
What is your move?
My move would be. Let's think about it. Well, I mean, why not put the abilities to good use? How many of them are surrounding me currently?
Right now, you are surrounded by about like a well, you knocked down around three of them, and one of them is
Hmm.
unconscious. So you're surrounded by still five, and they are all at
I
your
see.
backside.
All at my backside. Are they all technically within my reach?
They are all within your reach, and they are all technically adjacent.
Okay, in which case I would like to attempt to use my spear to to use power attack on every single one of them, and if that succeeds, uh, actually, you know what? I do have a set of claws of my own, so I would like to use my ability, which would be the specific name. One second, class features. Click the Talons of the Dragon, and I would like to use power attacks on them, and also use my uh, cleave feat to keep attacking them.
Okay, roll me your attack roll.
Yep. Boop.
Okay,
Second attack connects.
so one of them you miss, you barely hit him, but he kind of jumps back and he's staggered. The other one, you grab him with your claw, and you have a full grip on him, and just you throw him away. Like you're big, you're strong. You can do that. You can
Yep.
roll another attack if you wish.
Sure thing. Click.
Once again, you manage to hit. You deliver a solid blow. The cultist falls over. Like they were not preparing for this to go this badly. Um, that's three of them that have been dislodged from you. Roll again.
Click.
Ah, you keep rolling so strong. Once more, you hit him. This guy, these are not strong dudes. They were kind of like do it by the numbers, or maybe not. Like maybe they weren't here for just the numbers because as you start swiping at them, roll again. There's only one more left.
Yep.
Last guy you
This one I
miss.
missed probably.
There's one more
Yes.
engaged with you, and he's trying to go in for a grapple. You notice that? Oh wow, fails. You not only does he miss, but he kind of just stumbles past you because as you're busy delivering a flurry of blows, he stumbles past and hits the ground, and you start hearing a light rumble in the distance.
What would be that rumble?
You may, if you so desire.
I would like to at least glance in the direction that is coming from.
You glance in the direction and see a lot of people moving away.
Hmm. Is there the source from which they're running away
The
or
source,
moving away?
you can't quite tell from here, um, but they seem really panicked, and there seems to be a lot of things coming at you.
Well, heck, fingers crossed, or I guess claws crossed, that it is actually the city guards that finally woke up and started doing their job.
It is not.
What is it? Hmm. That would be the market stalls.
Those are the market stalls all around you.
Hmm.
It is for some
I would
reason not load.
imagine.
It is not loading in any of the things. There we go.
That is a big canine, I suppose, and that is a giant kobold.
So the cultists around you, they scatter as they hear the noise, as they suddenly see everyone walk away. Because what's coming at you but a set of wargs covered in glowing runes. You know these runes. These are the same runes you have, and they are runes that indicate that a creature has somehow attained powerful mystical energies. These are mythic wargs.
Hmm. Slightly used wargs.
Most definitely.
Well, I would imagine I'm familiar with the wargs. Those would be just giant wolves, correct?
Okay, let's take a quick look. I need everyone's modifier for. Right click a token and click add turn. That's not here. Why is that not here? Oh, God, it doesn't want to add tokens. Oh,
Anything I
because
can
they're
do
on the
to
map
help?
layer, that's why.
Oh.
That explains a lot. Whoops, that's my bad.
Hmm.
Now I can add turns. Okay. Um,
All right. Should I roll for initiative?
no, we don't roll. We just go by modifiers, which means you generally get to go first unless you're dealing with something really fast.
Yep. Oh, mine is currently 6.
We got Brie on 9. Okay, they were already in order. Um, meaning that his name is not on it. Why is his name not on it? Tissac sees these creatures approach. They are pretty fast because they are wargs after all. Um,
Yes.
and it causes the cultists disperse as the crowd begins to disperse. Although they are pretty frenzied and panicked. Tissac breaks free and starts to move forward, trying to form sort of a parameter so you can do what you need to do. Um, he takes out his big bastard sword and his heavy shield, and he prepares himself for the defensive. Like he's going to try to catch these creatures once they get close enough. Now it's your turn. What are you going to do?
First of all, I would like to make sure that there are no enemies in the immediate vicinity. No civilians at
The civilians are breaking up. It will
the.
be a bit before they're all gone. It is pretty difficult to move as they are all coming towards you because they're moving away from the wargs.
Hmm. So you could say that they have cleared an entire street behind them as they were running.
Yep.
Okay, in that case, why not put the weapon to good use? Because I always itched to do this. I would like to use my breath fire, which would be a 60-foot line.
Yep. Where are you going to aim it?
I'm gonna aim it along the street, making sure that I don't ruin too many buildings or anything with it, or hit the civilians. Since the empty street is just gonna singe the ground a little bit. So that would be, oops, second, where's this line? So that would be in either this direction, unless this one is occupied by the cobalt, or this direction. But 60 feet, 1 sec.
Yeah, you can hit both of them with ease.
I can hit both of them?
No,
All
you
right.
can hit. We can either of them. I mean.
Oh, either. All right. 60 feet. Woo, that's a little bit overshooting it, but yes.
Okay.
Click, it does 1d6 per 2 oracle levels, which
Do click
means
the
I will be rolling.
the special button that I put in with it, like the little thing here for Revelation Fire Breath that automatically rolls the damage for you and tells me the DC.
1 second, is it in the attacks or?
Under abilities, you have to look.
Oh,
Under abilities, there's
sec.
also a little dice button.
Second. This one?
Yes.
Yep.
Oh wow, you roll pretty high. Let's roll. Okay, that is a okay. You breathe a massive, just sort of a beam of fire at them. It's not even a breath. The creature nimbly jumps off to the side and evades much of the attack, but still takes a good chunk of damage as it is burnt and scalded by what's going on.
I would imagine it takes half it if it
Uh,
makes the save.
yeah, it saves half. It says so.
Hmm.
Oh no, it doesn't actually specify. Um,
Okay.
the creatures charge towards you both at once because that's how they work.
Yes.
Tissac keeps his ground, keeps his shield in front of him, and is going to try to catch their blows and go in for the counterattack.
Yep.
Okay, let's take a look. See, um, that is not enough because this guy is nearly impossible to hit, and that's also not enough. Tissac takes the blows with reckless abandon, and suddenly the creatures are doing something else as they become surrounded in a mystical aura of darkness.
Oh, heck. Oh, they're clearly preparing something.
The area around you is pretty darn dark right now.
So they
Um,
are casting darkness artificially.
yes, they are emitting a well, sort of a.
Hmm.
It's actually more of a circle of darkness, but yeah, they're there. You are just suddenly it's pitch black out of the blue. You have no clue what you're looking at.
Hmm.
Tisak,
Would it be possible to counter that
you could
with a
try to
magical spell?
roll me a caster level check. So go to
Caster level
spells.
check.
You could
Lick.
sacrifice a second level slot to try and counterspell it.
Aside from that, I think. Let me check real quick. I do have a cantrip of light. I can touch a physical object and make it emit light. Would that be enough
It would
to at
counter it.
least? It
It
would
would
counter
directly
it.
counter it. You just have to use that particular spell, and it would counter it, or one of them at
Okay,
least.
fair enough. I'm gonna bet the kobold on the head so that he's the light source.
You need it. The kobold does not, because the kobold can see through the darkness with
Yes,
ease.
because they're light sensitive. Yes. I, however, am not. I have the poor light vision, but not complete darkness.
Mm-hmm. And he goes in for a swing,
Hmm.
and he cleaves the work that you heard before, deciding that focusing fire might be the good idea here. It is your turn again.
Yep. I would like to use the light spell
Okay.
to counter the darkness because I actually need to see after
It
I
is
take it.
now not as dark, but it's still pretty gosh darn dark.
Yep. But that does consume my ability, my movement point for this turn.
Mm-hmm.
No, not the ability, the action for this turn.
Yes, you can still move.
I still move. Hmm. Let's see. Approaching them, what would proc an attack of opportunity? Is
No,
that correct?
it is moving away or moving out of a threatened square is what it does.
I see.
So you can still approach them for free.
Well, I wouldn't want to get terribly bitten by these things, so I would stay where I am. Perhaps. Would it be? Actually, I'm gonna try and flank it. So I would like to move around this stall and from here to here.
You can do that.
Yes. Because that will force, if the warg wants to attack me, it will force it to move and it will proc an attack of opportunity for uh, my buddy here. So I am just out of their reach.
Mm-hmm.
Would I move? Click, click. So here and here, that would be within my.
You are not flanking them because you're not adjacent yet, but sure.
Hmm.
Do we need to stand actually like right there? Okay. Um, one of the works sort of turns around, starts knocks over the nearby stall, and turns towards you. Let me go on the map and
Yep.
goes in for an attack. What is your AC? No, it doesn't matter because he misses. He comes at you, but you saw him coming. Even in the darkness, you saw him coming.
Yep. So did that proc an attack of opportunity? Did I miscalculate?
Hmm?
Did I miscalculate, or did it proc? Did it not proc an attack of opportunity?
He did not. Well, their movement does not because they just going to sort of turn in place real fast. There's nothing to
Oh,
exploit.
because they pivoted around.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Fair enough.
The other one goes for the kobold, and nope. Kobold's AC is just nuts. But that won't
Yeah, you
matter for
can't
long.
really bite that.
Tisak can't do much except just hit things with his hitting stick. Aww.
He whiffs it.
And he whiffs it. He whiffs it, but he takes a step closer and tries to sort of get at this guy's butt. No, actually, if that would be a flank, so he would hit.
With a 13? Okay.
No, with a 15 actually, because he's flanking. Oh no, wait, it's an automatic miss. Okay, it was a one that he rolled.
Hmm.
Eka, do something.
Yes. I would like to jump to the side
Hmm.
Would this kind of movement be
If it's a five
within
foot step,
the?
not.
So it would not proc the
Nope.
attack of. Okay, but it's not 5 foot because that's more of a 10
Yeah,
radius.
that's 10. That won't work.
Okay, fair enough. But I do have a spear which has a reasonable reach, I would imagine. So I'd like to poke the butts of both of them while I can.
You can only poke
Using,
one of them. You can only one attack, so.
I can only reach one. Okay, fair enough. But would this be considered flanking or not?
Yes, you are flanking the middle one. The
Okay.
one
In
smooshed
which,
between.
yep. In that case, I would step to the side as it attacks, and then I'm gonna just slap it with a should be click.
You deliver a solid blow on the creature, which howls and bleeds as it is struck. It's starting to pant and starts to, and its and the runes on its body start to glow more vigorously as the other one growls out. Um,
Are they interconnected somehow?
Potentially, you don't quite know. Um, I need both of you to roll me a will save.
We'll save. Okay. Click. I suppose I would be handling the. Yeah. Okay. Fences. We'll save. Click. There we go.
Okay, you are now frightened, which is not good.
Yes.
You take -2 on attack rolls and the lot, and saving throws and skill checks and ability checks. Cause, oh no, actually you're out of the cone. No, you're fine.
Am I?
It is only Tissac that will be affected. I miscalculated. Sorry.
That's
The
okay.
one over in the middle
22 is not
is
enough to roll against the fear.
8 was not enough. But let's move on to
Oh wait, I was looking at the wrong thing. Yes.
the warg in a panic as it is stabbed and flanked from both sides. Begins to run
Mhm.
away. Attack of opportunity for both of you.
Yeah, I'm gonna grab it by the tail and I'm just gonna pull it back.
You can make an attack roll if you want. Not a weapon roll, but like at the top, there's like melee range CMB. Roll CMB.
CMB. Yes. Oops.
Well, you succeed because Bree hits it with a sword, cuts it across the legs, causing it to fall down. You just grab it by the tail and swing it around.
Can I swing it hard enough to throw it at the other one?
Sure.
But I will need a strength for that. Let's see if I can do an epic throw.
That's enough. You toss him. Roll me 1d6 for damage as it sort of flops into him.
1 second. There we go.
Okay. The warg flies through the air, strikes into his friend, and flops just harmlessly onto the ground.
Is it dead?
It is very much dead. You can tell.
Oof.
It's heavy though, heavy creature. But as you do this, roll me a perception check.
I can see that thing just approach from the edge of the screen. Ah, yes. Click. There we go. That will be easy. I should really start using these more. Well,
Komo.
I can just sense it with my back.
You hear in the distance, you hear the distinctive growl of an owlbear, but it's augmented. It feels stronger than the average owlbear. It feels more
Heck.
vicious. You hear panic. You hear gunshots of weapons firing. The warg besides Tissac is starting to look nervous. Tissac is going to try something dangerous. It's going to try and distract the creature.
The owlbear?
No, no, the creature he's dealing with. Ah, and he fails. He doesn't manage to trick it. He was going to try and trick it and go in for an easier blow, but that's not going to work.
Did he try to throw a bullet?
No, he would try to like grab a bowl or something off the nearby stand and throw it at him to get his
Hmm.
attention away. She could go in for a headshot to make this as fast as he can. Risky move, which also means that the creature will get an extra attack in next round. Back to you, Eka.
Yes.
You do not
It's
see the
approaching
owlbear,
from the same.
but you know it's
Hmm?
coming.
Well, Because it's outside the darkness, or
It's the darkness is it makes it very difficult to see too far. It might be around a corner, if anything.
I see. Hmm. In that case, I should probably help my partner finish it off as fast as possible. In which case, I would like to move in and attack it with a spear again.
Roll your attack.
Yep. Second. Boop.
You hit it. You hit it good. The war growls and sort of jumps off the table and withdraws off to the distance. Its aura fades away. Um, and it is now proc attack of opportunity because of how it moves away. And it hides behind a pillar that holds up the tent above your head, which provides shade from the sun. Um, Tisak looks nervous because he starts to feel the
That thing is huge.
It's a pretty heavy boy. Um, Tisak does not even get time to respond because this big lumbering boy has a of 10. I want you both to roll me a reflex save. Well,
Yes.
Tisak needs to roll his own.
Yes. Reflex.
Tisak does not hit
Fine.
the deck in time. You do, however. You manage to avoid the damage of this attack, but Tisak does not. A large, just massive crate flies through the air, slams against the ground, splinters are everywhere, and Tisak gets caught in the crossfire for 7 damage.
Ouch.
Tisak Bree, let me just register your hit points on the character so we can calculate this. If I were to 75, bar 3 show. Eka, what's your character looking like in terms of
60 out of
statistics?
60. Should be like that. Oh, no. Wrong one.
Oh, I know a better way to do this.
Hmm?
Oh god, something went wrong. HP. If I
There we
just link
go.
it up to your HP, it'll work a bit better.
Yeah, and then we don't need the second one. Or guess the first one, which is green one. Just that one. There you go. No, still sits there. How about now? There we go.
Wait a second, but that means that Tisak isn't probably synced up to his character.
Why is that?
Because if he was, it would be like, hey, here's Tisak. Okay, so this is annoying. So the thing is with you, I could sync up
Yes.
the stats, you know.
Yeah, but not with.
Oh, I see. Okay, that's what I do. And then I click HP. Come on. I know you want to be slow, but it's being very slow, sorry.
Don't worry about it. It's quite alright.
Now I just got to shrink this boy down to proper size. Um, and add him to the 9. Enter. So, there's just all kinds of shit over the floor, and it is not very good. Let me look up a nice square thing to put on the ground because there's now just fruits and all kinds of nasty stuff on the ground directly around you, as represented by this nice flame square.
Wow, that is pretty big.
It is very difficult to move across this stuff as there's just fruit and juice on the ground. And it comes lumbering in. This is a large behemoth covered in runes. It's got weird, strange, like bracelets on its arm. It's got a large metal necklace on its head, and it opens its beak and lets out a terrifying screech like you've never heard in your life before.
Haha. I'm gonna screech right back at it.
Tisak Bree gets to move. And once more, very carefully moves out in front of you.
Wait, shouldn't it be the other way around?
Tisak's the fighter here, the big tough burly guy.
Yeah, but he rolled lower than I. Why does he have 9 now?
Oh yeah, and he needs to have HP loss, yes. What did I roll again? 7.
Also that, and also you did say that one second, that we should be doing, where's,
Oh wait, he is a DR3.
oh wait, yeah, he does 9. Why did he have a lower initiative earlier? I'm not sure.
Weird.
Yeah.
And he quickly swaps with his rifle and goes in for a rifle attack, which is a touch attack in this particular context.
You just point and click.
He lands a bullet inside this massive creature.
But it's a bear. They're almost bulletproof.
As shows by the fact that it takes only minimal damage from it. It does not seem to care much about this attack. In
Yep.
fact, it just shrugs it off entirely. Moving on to Eka. You might want to pull out your big guns here.
Yep. Let's see what I can pull off. Well, it's a singular target. Might as well use up what we do have.
What are you doing?
Well, let's break out the big guns. Since it yelled at me, I'm going to yell at it right back at it. And I'm going to use my fire attack again, since it's approaching from the same direction that the works with. And I still have 1
Excellent.
charge left. So that would be this, I flick.
Will it make its reflex save? It does not. The fire rages through the air and smacks right into it. It thought it could handle this, but it cannot. It stumbles back as the fire burns away at its skin, heats up the metal collar around its neck. Um,
That's going to
it's
leave a mark.
Oh, it does. Like there's just burnt skin and the smell of burnt fur in the air. The war continues to flee, and gets caught by like a wall of spears as like guards are starting to encroach. The guards can't do much because every single one of their bullets just kind of bounce off the owlbear, but they are able to damage the ward. The creature comes closer, and is going to try something pretty impressive. Oh fuck! He picks up this little boy and tosses him aside because you're the one that shot him with fire. Okay, let's roll some dice. That is 12 minus 2, so that's 9 points of damage as Tissac is just tossed aside and slams into a cart nearby.
Wow. Seems like a running theme at this point. Poor boy.
And Tissac gets up. He's kind of sore. And decides to charge on in, drawing his blade at the last moment in a technique he was taught. And he doesn't hit. The fur, the skin is
He
too
whiffs
thick.
it.
He leaves a cut, but nothing happens somehow.
Mm-hmm.
Like he doesn't draw blood. It's like he's cutting through just fat. Eka, it's your turn.
Yes. Well, I'm all out of ammunition for my breath weapon. However, let me check if I have anything appropriate for in terms of spells. Let's see. Well, would it be possible for me to try and scare it? Would a cause fear work on this creature?
What is the limitation of cause fear?
Creatures with 6 or more HD are immune to this effect. There we go.
It is affected by it.
So it is?
Yes.
Okay. In which case, I'm gonna attempt that. At the very least, if it succeeds on a will save, it will be shaken for 1 round. So, clicky.
Wow. It actually failed it.
It failed it?
It's frightened. Like, you give off a draconic roar, and it just goes, whoa. I wasn't told I'd be fighting a dragon. He looks spooked as all hell. On his turn, he must try to move away from you, wherever possible.
But that will provoke an attack of opportunity from both of us.
From only your friend, unless you're using your like reach spear, if you have one. Like a short spear
Well,
doesn't have reach.
I see.
The warwick has been slain off in the distance by a brigade of bullets, just perforating it, as well as spears and like just a whole host is like coming down. But they're not approaching this thing. This thing is spooky and scary and massive. Like even the warwick was at least of somewhat of decent size. The creature, you know what? I'm gonna roll for this. It is able to partially resist the frightening effect, and simply moves over here, proccing one from Tissac, who tries to make a slightly deeper cut. It hits,
He does
but
make it.
only does minimal damage. Like this thing is gonna take some serious cutting power to cut through. But as he stands there, he takes out a big claw and just goes. Shh! You can almost hear the sharp claws in the air. +9. No, that's not enough. He whiffs, going right over Tissac's head. He's not used to fighting things this small. Tissac just, you know what?
You probably can't reach it.
Tissac focuses, and he was doing a power attack.
Holy
And he
crap.
gets a critical. That's 17. +2. That's a 19. He finally gets a good cut in. You hear a guttural and there's just blood all over his very fancy big sword. And the creature sort of stumbles back, but after that doesn't seem to care much. Your turn, Eka.
It seems to be notoriously hard to kill. But then again, everybody is. It is apparently a world of badass. And in this case, let me see. Cast time, one standard action. Yeah, this will take a little bit longer. Let's see. It does have the metal
Yes.
color on it.
Mm-hmm.
I would like to use, and it didn't like when it heated up, so I would like to use the burning disarm on it.
What does burning
And if
disarm
it's,
do?
it heats up a metal object in the hands or on the enemy and forces them to drop it or take fire damage. And assuming it's a collar that they probably can't really take out, it's gonna burn
So
them
it's going
real
to take
good.
5d4 damage. Roll me 5d4.
Yep. 5d4.
Oh, you rolled pretty strong there. So the creature screeches. You hear another like ear-deafening screech in the air as it starts to grab at these things, but it can't get them off. And as it starts to cool down, you can see that like there's more burnt fur, there's more blackened skin, but it still remains standing and fierce. This time it's going to go for a full-round attack, which is not going to be good for Tissac, even with his. This is just statistics working against him.
Yeah.
That is a miss. That is a hit. And that is a hit. That is 2d6 plus 10. Oh, no, wait, it's 3d6 plus 17. And he rolled an 11. Plus 17 is 28. So that's minus 25. And he gets knocked back as he just gets hit by two claws and smashed back into the pillar. Taking a further no damage because he rolled below a 3. And Tissac sort of stumbles.
He's gonna need some medical attention after this. Good lord.
Or does he? Because Tissac steels himself and decides, you know what, now it's time to break out the great powers that I've attained throughout my life.
Yes.
He takes a breath. A deep breath. He regains 5 health points as he activates his fast healing ability. Takes a step forward and goes in for a cut. Oh heck. Oh heck.
He does hit it pretty hard.
He does. And the creature is starting to look pretty beat up now. Now you start to see like the blood dripping through, like the actual damage that's been done. Um,
Yes.
Eka, you can probably finish it off if you play your cards right.
Yes. I would like to do it the very flashy way, and I would like to try and chuck my spear at it.
Not the most efficient way of killing this thing, but sure. Before you roll, please do remember
It
to
would
turn
be
it
arranged.
to range attack. Yes, it's just click this and go ranged.
Yep. Okay. Everything good with this?
Yes, I switched this
Yes.
for you.
Okay.
Mhm. Mhm. That
It does
hits.
hit,
That's
but it doesn't do much damage.
so you throw it through the air. The spear goes whoosh, lands in the creature's chest, and it seems to stumble and stumble because you burnt away the harsh skin. Like it's just crunchy, weak stuff that remains where you burnt it with a fire breath, and it just suddenly
Yes.
falls over backwards with a. And with that, you notice that as things start to calm down, Tisak is slowly getting back on his feet. Like every few seconds, he starts to look a little bit better, a little bit more into it. Um, the large owl bear is dead. Um, and you can examine the situation.
Oof. Well, first and foremost, the first order of action, I'm gonna pick the nearest apple and just munch on that.
Nearest what?
Apple. There's a lot of fruit lying around.
Fair enough. You take a nice apple and take a big old. It's a good apple.
Good apple. Well, we have created quite a mess, but we were acting in self-defense,
So Tisak
and
takes
I
out a
don't.
bottle. You know what this bottle is. So in this world, being a mythic means that you literally steal mythic
Yes.
energies from other beings. And in that bottle,
Yes.
once it's full, the both of you get a mythic rank. And these three creatures together provide you with enough mythic energy to fill up about half. And Tisak looks content, but recommends that perhaps you examine some of the bodies because there's a cultist on the ground that's
Yes.
like still KO.
Yes. He's
Um,
still knocked out, which
yeah,
is what I was going to do.
you're gonna check his body, or
Uh, First and foremost, I'm gonna give him a pat down to see if he has any documents or something of the sort on him.
um, he doesn't have any documents. Like there's some basic instructions on like how to recognize you and what to do about you.
Hmm.
Most importantly, it's
Did they
like
get
if
my
you
nose
can't
right?
what?
Did they get my nose right? They never get my nose right.
There's not
It's
a
probably
drawing
like
of
a
you in there.
no. What a shame.
What you do find is a small compass on his
Hmm.
body. The compass is engraved with some sort of phrase that you don't fully recognize.
Is it written in any languages that I know?
It may be written in Draconic, like it's got that Draconic ting to it. Specifically, it's written in a Koboldish dialect.
Hmm. So potentially, Tisak might know.
Tisek might need some time to analyze the phrase because he
Hmm.
can sort of give you the shorthand of it, but he gets the feeling that it's more, it's a motto of something.
Yes.
Might require some historical background searching. The guards are slowly like there were guards all around you, like you were surrounded by them, and they were just shooting all around you. And now they're sort of approaching you and they're asking questions like what went on, and who this guy is, and what that thing is, and what that bottle is.
I'm gonna ask them to wait for just a second. I'm gonna lift the guy and I'm just gonna slap him across the face times
Okay,
to bring him back to his senses.
you give him a couple of smacks, and he wakes up.
Yep. Well, the first order of questions would be what is the purpose of this attack?
Of this what?
Of this
Oh,
attack?
well, you were in the way, of course.
In the way of whom?
Didn't hire a smart one, did they? Why do we even worry?
Yeah, which is why you should probably tell me everything because obviously I won't figure it out.
He just kind of chuckles at you.
She's gonna play along.
He's not gonna play along.
Well, I mean, I meant it's like, oh, why do we even bother? And I'm like, well, clearly I'm harmless, so obviously you can just tell me, spill
You
your
just
guts, whatever.
killed an owlbear, and not any owlbear.
Yes. So,
Well, you know what that means.
well, actually, I do not, but I probably shouldn't tell him that. In which case, I would attempt to intimidate him and say, well, yes, I did kill an owlbear, and would you like to know what I can do to you? Which would be click.
Oh wow, you're
But
gonna.
he doesn't care. He's not impressed. I rolled a 1.
Yeah, but you still rolled an 11, so he's still like, like what you did doesn't matter. The next time they'll bring something bigger.
Well, and that's, you know, what they say, the bigger they are, the louder they fall.
Mm. The guards kind of assemble around you, and you start to get the feeling that perhaps the biggest defense this guy has is the fact that due process is going to set in at some point.
Yep. And considering we're the hero, we're not going to do, or at least attempting to be the hero, or at least we're trying to conform to some perceived image of a hero. We would not just torture and murder him for doing so. In which case, I would just kind of hand him over to the guards, and at the very least, I would try to keep an eye on what they do with it, so that his friends don't show up and steal him off.
Well, they take him off. You can follow
Yes,
along. You're given his possessions, which are the compass, the small instructions, and all.
yes. And I
Um,
would like to hand the compass to my to Zach to see if he can make the heads or tails of it.
so he knows like some basic stuff. He recognized some of the basic writing, but it's written
Mhm.
in a pretty old version of Kobold. Um,
How old, particularly?
he would trace it back to the old Dragon Wars, which
Which
is the Dragon Wars are
I
ostensibly when Tiamat and Bahamut were having a big old scrap about good dragons versus bad dragons.
I try to the best of my ability to recall this,
Go ahead,
but
roll
this
history.
might be yes, this might be. Oh, I actually do know
You
this. It's
actually know a
currently
lot
over.
about this. So you've spent some time studying the Dragon Wars, presumably because when you came here, you're like, hey, I want to know where the dragons for this tribune stand. You know that during the Dragon Wars is believed to be the time that kobolds came into existence. They were made by the third party, the Great Arbiter. And this is where kobold writing started emerging, where draconic writing in general started emerging, because kobolds were kind of the ones that invented writings. Dragons didn't give a shit about writing shit down, but kobolds did. So logically, when kobolds started showing up, draconic writing started being invented. Um, you know that, and also you know this oft forgotten detail of the Draconic Wars because you rolled above a 20, which is like the best an average person would know, could
Mhm.
possibly know. You do happen to know that Bahamut and Tiamat are not the only ones who took part in the Dragon War. There was a third force which gathered a lot of like momentum behind himself, and might be the reason this shit didn't blow up as bad as it did. Known as Martivir, who was called the
Marty,
Arbiter.
Mar-
And as you recall that, you notice
Mhm.
that Tisak Bree takes a look at the thing and recognizes that one of the words is Martivir, which is also the
Is
word
it?
for peace.
Hmm.
Though which came first is a chicken and the egg question.
Well, the way I see it, considering they're trying to kill us, and considering there could be a couple possibilities. Either they are using this word as a cover, so obviously who wouldn't be, you know, say we are keeping peace or we are working for the greater good, so that justifies the murders and everything. Or the Duke is actually lying to us, in which
Hmm.
case we are helping the bad guys. But we'll need to get to the bottom of it.
Well, you do know that Bahamut was like the biggest proponent of like peace. So if anyone would be like trying to besmirch this guy, it'd be someone of the Tiamat clan, which would get you on. Would mean the dragons would have to get involved because they don't like chromatics.
Yep.
Anyway, you have a compass.
Yes.
It doesn't point north.
Where does it point?
It points somewhere east.
As we move across the city, does the needle change
It
direction?
changes more significantly than if it was a regular compass.
I see, so it's pointing to something closer than a magnetic pole of the
Yes.
world that we're on. I see. Okay. Well, in that case, we might want to investigate that. Do we have, is it possible for me to discern or at least estimate how far exactly that would be?
Um, you take a bit of a trip around town. You can triangulate that it's probably still within the Sizzling Sands area. It might not even be like near the outpost, but that's a guess.
I see, so it's still within it.
Hmm.
Fair enough. In which case, we would probably take a good night's rest and then head out first thing in the morning towards the location where this thing is pointing.
As you go, it eventually you reach the edge of town, and it still points eastward. You do have transportation for the sands, in case you wonder.
Yeah, we do have a ship, the Little Skiss.
Yes.
Yep. In which case, we would have to hop on and attempt to reach this location through that means, through those means. Let's see if our Cobalt can navigate us there.
I need you both to roll me survival, and if you have it, sailor.
Well, he does have Sailor. Yes. Let me check. Well, I do not have the Sailor, but I do have Survival at the very tiny bit. It's not trained. Let's see how badly I can. Yeah, I do not survive.
Don't worry. So you head out. You got your small skiff. It's like meant for about 2 to 3 people, and the rest is all filled up with cargo. It's a pretty
I see.
fast thing. Like it goes. If you were to go by foot on like a straight road, it would take you twice as long to get here. Um,
Mhm.
Let me pull out the measuring bar.
Quick question: do we just as a sort of world building thing, would we navigate these via the stars? Because naturally, there's
You're
not
using
a
a
lot of
compass. You're following the direction of the compass right now.
yes, but in general, because there's not a whole lot of
The ship
landmarks
has
in
like
there.
a small as like a every ship comes with like a sextant kit to navigate by sun and stars.
I see.
There's even a
Okay.
lunar chart if you're weird. Um, but with
Well,
that, you eventually come out into you're deep in the dunes now. You can still see the peaks nearby off to the south, the bigger hills off to the north. Um, Eventually, you have to go off trail. The trail's not that like visible, but it's there. You can tell that there's like a distinct path that travelers take because it has like gulls, like ditches dug by large sand ships. But the compass, like you start to notice that eventually the compass gets like the movement is very extreme. Like you're pretty close, but there's nothing around. You're not at the 0 point yet, but you don't notice anywhere where it could possibly lead.
it could be concealed by the sand.
What are you gonna do?
Well, let me see if I have anything in my spell book to help us out here. Uh, well, if it's not pointing to anything magnetic, that is probably tied to something magical, in which case I would like to try and detect magic.
Use detect magic. The first
Yes?
thing you detect is your compass. Detect magic only has a range of 60 feet though,
Oops.
so it doesn't detect too much.
Yeah.
You notice a faint trail in the air, but that's it.
Okay, in which case I would like to attempt to use it once again as soon as we see the needle go away, of course, as if
Like
it is
flip around.
pointing backward. Yes.
Okay. As you approach the course, you suddenly notice that your ship crashes straight into a small building. The
Did
ship
it
is
pop
okay
out of
because
nowhere?
like Tissac was smart enough not to sail as quickly, but your boat's like kind of nudged up against a building that seemed to appear that quite literally appeared out of nowhere in an instant.
Does it
Like
seem to be sitting on a stable foundation, or is it like half buried?
it's like it's a square, very cheaply made concrete building by the looks of it.
Concrete. Do we know what concrete is?
No, I mean like just it's smooth stone. It's smooth stone. Like it's like been I don't know what that stuff is that they use for those fancy sand buildings, like mud and
Uh,
clay.
Modern clay, probably something like that. Yes.
Yep, it's one of those buildings. It's very
Hmm.
innocuous. It doesn't look like anything. It has a rickety wooden door.
So it does have an entrance. Okay.
Yes. Tisax tries to make the building go back. Tries to make the boat get off, and it takes him a bit. He almost pulls his back.
Well, I hope he's not trying to flip the whole thing on its own. Does the sand look safe to walk on?
Yep. You're not in the sinking set. That's off to the west.
All right. In which case, the first course of action is to dismount the ship and to knock on the door.
Knock, knock, knock.
This seems to be like a running gag with me. I see a door, I feel compelled to knock on it.
A small slot on the door opens. An eye peeks through,
Ooh, this is Star Wars. I like it.
and it asks, "Who are you?"
That's actually, I didn't think that far. And honestly, I didn't actually expect it. But one
The guy
second.
in the slot looks a bit further and sees the kobold and goes, "Who's he?" With a bit more interest in his voice.
Yeah. Did we read anything in the notes that could give us any information
The notes were
on?
very non-specific. Like these guys were mooks to the slaughter.
Hmm. So no names, no locations, no nothing.
Nope.
Okay.
Although by now
Uh,
he's been able to translate the versal martivir ericus petis, which is the full
and
spell on the
what
compass.
and what does that mean in common?
It means something peace through something. Like it's a bit difficult for him to translate this.
Peace for superior firepower, probably. In which case, I would like to quote what is written on the compass to the person inside, to the best of my ability, because I probably speak with a horrible accent.
Your roll me. Do you have linguistics?
1 second. Let me check. Well, I do have 8 points in it from my stats, but I don't have. I'm not
Roll it.
trained in it. Roll it anyway.
Yep.
Okay. Let me see how much I can butcher it
No, wait, no, no.
slightly.
You know what? How about you roll me bluff instead?
Maybe the
Because you're trying to
gold.
bluff your way through this.
Okay.
You got a little more points in there anyway.
Yes. Well, I
No.
rolled worse.
Yeah, he's kind of like I don't know if I can trust you with this. Like, you don't look. Like he seems doubtful. Like there's something about you that seems to appeal to him and also to your little friend.
Well, yes, I do actually have a sort of presence, I would say.
How did you get here?
We drove a ship.
A ship?
We sailed
Well, I
a
see
sand
that.
ship.
I can
So,
see your ship. The ship that crashed into the building.
yes.
How did you get here? How did you find this place? This place isn't marked on any maps.
Yes, and I would like to show him the compass.
How did you get that?
Found it.
Roll me diplomacy. As you're trying to sort of charm him up a bit.
Yes.
You're not lying, so it's not. Okay, he's like. Let me roll against this. God damn it. He rolls a 1. He's like, oh, you found it. Well,
He rolls
I
a
kind of need
1.
that back. Can I have it?
Well, as long as you allow us entry, sure,
Why
why
should we
not?
allow you in? What do you want?
Well, we are tired and weary travelers. We would like to get some
You have a
rest.
ship. You can sleep in your ship.
Yeah, but we can also sleep inside the house.
Why should we? This is not a house. We don't have beds.
Why would you not have beds?
Roll me sense motive if you really want to.
Yes. Click.
Oh, they have beds. He's just. He doesn't. Like, you're not the kind of person he's allowed to let in, is the point.
Yes, I'm very tall and scary.
No, that's not the point.
Uh,
That's not what he's. Like, he's not, like, afraid of you or anything. It's more like he's been told don't let people in just without a good reason.
without a good reason. Well, you're obviously lying. Well, you would have beds here, and I don't see any ships around or anything.
Well, then what do you want?
We would like
Why
to
should I
get
let you
inside.
in?
We have booze.
No.
We do have a crate stashed on the ship, maybe.
So, let me try and get you in the mindset for this. You
Okay.
are approaching what is presumably a hideout of some cultists, and
Yes.
you expect them to just let you in because you have a booze or just want to bet. Think a bit more like
Yes. Okay. Let me think of
think a bit
something a
more
little bit
people
more
who would be let
persuasive.
in.
The people, probably somebody on the pilgrimage at the very least, or probably somebody from a different cell that they haven't heard from. It's
It
like,
could be.
hey, we are, in which case, retcon this and try to push the idea that we are indeed new recruits and we just got this thing and we have these instructions, or maybe not even mention that reading because they would probably be able to tell that it's about us. Uh, but essentially bullshit our way through by pretending to be one of them. Because, I mean, well, I don't want to break in because we'll have to fight through every single one of them from that point
Okay.
onward, and that will get
Well, if you're one of
a
us, you know
little
what we
bit
do.
ugly.
What do we do?
Well,
And he kind of eyes like your little friend, and he goes, "He should know."
sorry,
He
you cut
eyes
out.
he eyes Tesik and goes, "He should know."
You should know, yes, because well, we the compass has mentioned Martivir or
Yes,
the Arbiter. So technically, we either worship him or we are working for them.
could be,
Hmm.
or they could be with Tiamat. Who knows? And they're just trying to slander someone.
Yeah, maybe. Also Bahamut, but that is I'm
So
kind
what are
of
you going to tell
lost
them? Is
about
something
that.
you need to consider.
Yes. Well, important decision, right? One second.
Don't forget you can use Mythic Surge if you really want to bullshit your way through something.
Yes, but this is probably not the best use of that ability. I'll probably keep it hmm. Yep. Just 1 second. Right, sorry about that.
It's fine.
Yes. Well, they do have they do have a compass that leads to this place, which is clearly indicating that this place is related, or at least was related to Martivir.
Hmm.
So, in which case, well, does uh, does Bree have anything to say on this?
Bree doesn't know
By the
what to
way,
say.
he doesn't. Fair enough. In which case, we're gonna try the Martivir story. We're gonna say that we are the worshippers of Martivir.
The guy, you hear this like, you hear some whispering behind the door. Then the guy looks up and goes, like, like the
Well, I
compass
mean,
really isn't enough.
and the mentioning of the dropping the name of their boss or supposed god is not
Like he,
either.
like he looks kind of torn. It's like he doesn't listen. This is not a place to come up if you don't know the whole spiel. You know, like you might have come here a bit early.
Fine.
Maybe
Well,
you
not
know.
really.
You hear some. You see the slots close and you hear some stumbling. You hear the door unlock, and like a little hand comes out with a piece of paper in an envelope. Here,
Okay.
here's an address. It's in Telbakir, in one of the poor districts. You go there, and they can answer your questions. But you can't just come here like this, and day no less. If you want to
Well, at the
join, you
very
got to do
least,
it properly.
yeah. Well, at the very least, we got something out of them, which is obviously bullshit, really. But sure, let's play along. Talbot here. Looking at the map.
That's back where you came from.
Oh yeah, I see Talbot here. Okay. Well, at least we have the address of sorts. I would like to read through the notes that he gave us.
Okay, so we provided you with a small note. It is a two-part thing. The first like
Hmm.
main piece of paper is like here's how to get here. Here's the knock the special knock like bup, 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 bup. um
Hmm.
and the second one is like a small letter of recommendation that's like listen, this guy found the compass. He's clearly interested in the teachings of Martivir. Get him in, Give him the tour, but keep him under watchful eye. Like I don't know, disarm him or something. But if he does something spooky, he was kind of fishy, kind of suspicious. Like they're kind of mixed on how to handle this. Like this guy's like you're not being aggressive. Like you're not the dungeon raider kind of guy that just kicks the door in. So he doesn't know what your main like thing is. You're also not being that deceptive. So he's like, eh.
Well, I am trying to be a little bit more honest, maybe a little sarcastic,
So
but
he offers you
honest
this, and
nonetheless.
this is like straight up a letter of like, tell this guy
Yep.
something. Like he's interested in joining.
All right. Well, I'm gonna ask what Tisak's opinion on this is. Should we roll with it, or should we just knock the doors down?
Well, I mean, if they don't know who we are, or if they're not able to identify us like this.
Well, these guys clearly didn't recognize us as probably some higher ups,
Hmm.
or perhaps even just a faction within this faction.
Well, I mean, now we have like an address of them inside the city.
We have an
So at the very
address
least,
for
we can
both.
investigate and knock their
We can
doors down
invest.
if they turn out to be bad.
Yes, and at the very least, we will be able to complete the mission for the Duke and
And hey,
see
we know
where
where
that
this is, so we
goes.
can clean up two locations at once.
Yes, we're not going to tell them just yet. Pretty sure we can handle this. At least we're not going to tell them about the location of this because they'll probably confiscate the compass. Did the cultists only have one compass on them, by the way, or did they have like several?
Every one of them had one.
Where did they end up? The Dukes?
Well, most of them ran away.
Hmm.
Like you never caught them. Only
So
one of them was knocked
technically,
unconscious.
so the guards didn't get their hands on the compass
No.
because they just returned it to us. Okay, fair enough.
Well, they trusted you. They were told by the Duke to know to like you.
Yeah. Well, let's hope none of them will recognize us. And in which case we'll have to head back to Felbakir and to is it Fel or Tel?
Tell Bakir.
Telbakir. We'll have to head back to Telbakir and we'll have to try and find this location.
Finding it isn't a problem. You arrive. It's nighttime by the time you get back because it took half a day to get
Hmm.
here and half a day back.
Yes.
Um, Unfortunately, I'm going to need another survival check, and this is to avoid getting lost for a day.
Yes. Understandable.
Okay.
Click.
Tisek Bree
Wow.
knows his way around.
I am just incompetent. I'm gonna get lost in like three trees.
You spill some coffee on his notes.
That yeah.
But you make it back. It's nighttime. You're tired from all day traveling in the hot sun, even on your little skiff. But as morning arrives, or actually, it might be better to go by nighttime. Who knows?
Well, they did mention that we're showing up by daytime, so we're gonna show up in the middle of the night in the dead of the night.
Okay. Tisak recommends that perhaps they not dress like adventurers in his heavy plate.
Well, we can cover it, really.
Okay. We can cover it, I guess.
We do have I mean, it's not that hard to procure a cloak, and technically I am wearing one.
Well, the problem is the plate mill would be noisy, so they would hear at the plate mill.
Would he be willing to either stay behind and guard the entrance, or take it off for the time being?
He will take it off.
All right. We're going in commando, apparently.
Okay. Well, he's still gonna wear like clothes and such, and he
Well,
has his
yes.
shield with him, but he's not gonna wear like expensive plate mail.
Yes.
I mean, Jesus Christ, that's like walking to a place with like a golden chest, a golden shirt. It's gonna draw attention. So it's late. The streets are mostly empty, even though it's like black market district. People can just do their business during the day. So why the hell would they stay up till night? Um,
Whoa, no wonder they attacked us. Apparently, we were very close to where their hideout was.
Possibly. Until Bakir is not that big. You go down some back alleys. You're near the edge of town. Um, you're in like the poorer district. Like this is the place where like the rowdy orcs, the snarly kobolds, the lizard folk that that are causing a lot of trouble tend to hang out because they don't have the money to afford someplace better.
Yes.
Um, the address, to as best as you can decipher it, is somewhere around here.
Is it possible to ask for a specification from one of the locals?
Sure.
Just the specific street and house?
You walk up to a local and you show them the notes. And
Well, we
they,
probably don't show them the nose. We just tell them the house and place.
more of you, hmm? Who do you approach? Who do you approach? Like
Kind of individual.
what kind of individual are you approaching? Like race, height, build?
Uh, a kobold and well, which race were the cultists that attacked it?
So the
Humans.
cultists that attacked you were Rakshasha.
So they were cats. Well, in which case, I would probably attempt to approach a Rakshasa beggar, because beggars are usually a good source of information because they would be willing to part with some of the knowledge if we give them some money. In which case, toss them a coin of
There's a
the
strange thing going on. So you look around for a
surprising
bit.
stuff,
You try to find like a beggar, Rakshasha, but you can't seem to find any.
which doesn't really make sense because this is a poor district in a
Well, for one,
relatively
Rakshasha
poor
tend to be
neighborhood.
higher upper class people, but even then, you still
Yes.
expect to find like one of them in the poor district.
hmm There aren't any
Like most beggars that you see are like they're like kobolds or lizard
kobolds and
folk.
such.
Yeah.
Well, in that case, we would have to try the kobold, and we will have to at least ask them the directions to this particular house.
Okay. Are you
Does
going to
some
ask?
actually no, I've been meaning of to request Bree to do this. Let me see. Co- which tab has the money?
What? Your equipment.
Which tab? Equipment.
You didn't
Click.
write down your money, did you?
Yeah, we didn't roll for the starting money.
You don't roll for
Let
starting
me
money.
see.
You just got 10k in total. We'll just say you've got
Oh,
500 in your pocket at the very least, so you can easily afford like basic amenities.
yes, because we got the 4,000 for the sword. No, for 4,000 for the breastplate. We got an extra 1,000 for 2,000. Yeah, 2,000 for the. I'm basically seeing out about 3 to 4,000 gold pieces. So I'd imagine I also have some spare change, which
Hmm.
means I can just drop a few coins of the lowest denomination, because I can't just go around and drop gold pieces into beggars' plates or something. That would be super
So how much
suspicious,
do
and
you
I
exactly drop?
let's say 10 copper pieces, and
Uh,
ask Bree to approach one.
so the the kobold sort of bows his head and gives like a friendly sort of thank you in Draconian,
hmm
um, in Draconic actually. Um, and he asks like, why do you give money? Because people that give money to beggars, especially ones that walk around in fancy robes.
Yeah, we're looking for a particular location, and we would like to,
I know the city well.
yeah, we tell him the name of the street and supposedly the name of the house as well,
He seems to
because
light
I
up a
don't
bit.
suppose
Like he
that she
starts to
hasn't.
smile and goes, and he points and he gets up and he actually starts to walk you there.
Cute. Okay.
So he walks up to the door, and he knocks on it for you, and a slot opens up at the top. Looks down. Slot
Does
at the bottom opens.
just on the bottom. Is the knocking in any way matching the knocking in the notes?
Nope,
It does not.
but the door still opens, and you
hmm
you see them talking in again like Tisak doesn't seem to follow this. Like they are speaking in an ancient dialect that he can't quite follow. Um, and eventually, you see that the person standing in the door is a Rakshasha and lets you in. Like, welcome, welcome, friends. Hospitality to you.
Well, thank you.
And the beggar starts to walk away.
Okay. Well, I mean, do we keep him with us? I'm not
You
going
know,
to hire an entire couple population. I could afford it, but I'm not.
you
What?
weirdo. You
Yes, I
goof.
know. Look, they're cute. I'm gonna look. If it were up to me, I would build a kobold army. Arm
Anyway,
everybody with pots and pans and
you
just.
walk into a nice little hovel. This is a very nice
Mhm.
place considering the neighborhood you're in. Um,
Yes.
there's a place for your capes, for your weapons, for all your stuff. And he requests, and he wants to know like How'd you find this place?
In which case, I would like to give him the notes and the recommendation letter.
He nods, he smiles, he takes it, and gives it a quick read, and then says, "Hang up your equipment. Please do not bring anything of hazardous nature with you. I will bring this to the head.
Well,
You could roll me
okay,
sense motive. Roll me sense motive.
of course. Well, yes, the click.
You can tell that he recognized you.
Yeah. Well, if he has recognized me, he probably knows that this is a very symbolic move, considering I do have weapons that are not physical swords and such.
He
In which
knows.
case, yes, I am going to surrender it and go in peacefully.
You sit
If
in a
my
small
pal
waiting
doesn't
room.
want to,
It's a nice
yeah,
waiting room. Um, are you going to move from this waiting room? Because there's really no one watching you.
say again.
There's no one watching you. You're just sitting in a waiting room waiting. The
Well,
doorman has
at the
gone.
very least, I'm going to give them a grace period of about 5 minutes. If somebody shows up, then okay. If nobody shows up, then I'll go and investigate.
Eventually, a Nastarun Rakshasha shows up, which is a Blackfoot Rakshasha known for their ability to steal with ease. Um, the furred creature walks up to you and extends a hand. He's wearing very fine robes. He looks very priestly. He extends his hand and goes, "I see that you have come to the light. It's good to see you.
Well, thank you for your hospitality.
Of course, hospitality to you. It is good to
I
see
would
that even
imagine.
those who follow the Duke can see the light."
Why exactly are you opposing the Duke? Because, well, we didn't really get the chance to use the sense motive on the Duke, I suppose. Eka being the wannabe hero that she is, uh, she didn't think of it.
Well, we'll just say that you know that the Duke is like very nervous about like a coup because these people are growing in numbers and they're doing stuff sometimes.
Yeah,
Like there's
well,
like sort of militia showing up in certain districts.
right. So, well, yes, you could say that we have changed our, uh, well, I guess it's not that we have changed our ways necessarily, but we're just giving you the benefit of the doubt, and at the very least, would like to see
What do you hope to achieve
what
with
the
us,
other
dear friend?
side of the point. The Duke is very suspicious, and at the very least, I would like to be on the right side of history and
He
at
is
least
not
know
suspicious. He is
what
an
the.
honest man, but simply on the wrong side of things. He doesn't
Well, that's
understand
what
the
I'm
way
saying.
things are going to be.
But you do.
Ah, follow me. I will show you.
Okay.
And he takes you along down a hallway. You see there's all kinds of tapestries hanging with the dragon's head on it. Um, you don't recognize this dragon or the symbol, but eventually you come into a relatively long hall. By now you feel that you're like in the center of the blocks of this particular house block like center, and there's a big sort of chapel built. There's a small platform. There's even like a balustrade up above where you could walk around if you wish. Um, and he walks up to the platform and beckons you deeper to his little office in the back. Come, I
Fair
will answer your
enough.
questions. There's a lot of people
All
here.
right.
There's Rakshasha. There's mostly kobolds, but a lot of Rakshasha too, which is not the most, shall we say, demographically representative population.
Yeah.
Um,
Is it normal for Rakshasa to be around kobolds at all? Or is it
um,
something a little bit more unique?
knowledge local.
Knowledge local, 1 second.
You may also roll me knowledge history. Knowledge history.
Yes, history I actually have been reading up on.
So you do know that there's no particular affinity between Rakshasha and kobolds, because one is like big, strong, and they used to have a history of being manipulators, and the other ones are like little baby boys. So this is kind of
which is
funky,
probably which is probably exactly what the term was that they used in the books.
kind of funky.
Yes.
But yes, his office is nice. It's not like super opulent. Like this guy clearly has like modesty on him.
Well, which at the very least, a person that is doing the whole religious thing is probably gonna be at least outwardly modest.
Come sit. I will answer your questions.
Other, well, they have recognized us. They know who they are. Is there any traps or ill intent that we can spot? Maybe
Roll
there's a
perception and
swing.
sense motive.
Yes. Motive 1. Perception. Wow.
You are not aware of any traps or
I
like
see.
deception. Like everyone sort of gives you a quick glance and they're like, "Oh, that's unusual."
Yeah.
Because
Is Tisak coming with us, or is it just me?
Sack can come with you, but the guy sort of is trying to get Sack to go another way because he mostly wants to talk
Ooh.
with you since you're like the head honcho of anything.
Well, the head honcho. This is essentially my second in command, so at the very least, I'll to save time, so I don't have to relate to him everything that I've heard here. I
Don't
would
worry,
just
he will
suggest.
be taught the same things.
Well, if
It
he's
is
going to
just
be
that I
told
would.
the same.
He will be taught what is necessary. You, however, can answer any question. Ask any question you wish.
Fair enough. Then I'm going to ask Tisak to wait, like behind the door or something.
Sack does not wait behind a door. He's shown to another room, like off to the side.
Okay. Well, holler if something happens.
He doesn't seem too happy, like having to split off from you, considering the life that he had. But he goes along with it, and you are now in the office
Yes.
alone with this man.
I am also not happy with this, but let's roll with it. As long as they're not hostile, I'll just tear the walls down if I have to.
You do not have knowledge and ability, so you can't do a check on this guy. So
Yeah, I do not have that. Ooh, considering you've suggested this, it could be one of the disgruntled heirs or some such, because obviously they're attempting a coup. That's interesting.
So, what do you wish to know of this humble church of the New World?
Yep. Well, what exactly has prompted you to start this whole church? Because is it possible for me to know whether or not this thing is like new? Which would probably be
You do
history
know that this
level.
cult's like relatively new.
So clearly it has shown, clearly your particular church, I suppose, the proper word. Your particular church has only recently blessed us with its presence, which means uh, you haven't been around for long, or you just
We've not been around for long.
no, no, no.
The knowledge
Yeah,
that drives our church has not been revealed until recently.
yeah. Well, what exactly prompted you to create this church?
What we have found, of course, we learned something great, something grand, that will lead to a much better world than it is now.
That is understandable and is the premise of a lot of religions. Could you be a little bit more specific?
Hmm. While I do appreciate that you have come, I do not know if I can simply trust you with such information. After all, you did
And
destroy one of my fine pets today. Those were expensive, you know.
those were expensive, but so was I. It has attempted to kill us, and we have acted in self-defense. I mean, what did you expect, really?
I
You're
guess
gonna
I
try to kill
cannot
somebody
take it
that I...
personal,
Hmm.
but it would hurt me to see this alliance go amiss. But at the same time, I cannot trust you off the cuff.
Off the cuff. What would you require of me to do to earn your trust?
A simple matter.
And by finishing a coup for you is probably not gonna be...
No, 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 no. It will be much ahead of that. There is a simple thing I need taken care of. It lies in
Go ahead.
Freyport. One of my assistants has been
I
held into custody.
mentally recall the map, and that would be
South. It is like the little fortress to the south.
Freyport. Yes, I can see it. 24 miles. Ooh, no, that's not 24. That's more like 100 miles over there.
Yeah, it's like a couple of days away,
Hmm.
even by skiff.
Yes.
He goes on. Well, down in Fairport, one of my assistants came from a far off land with something of great importance to our church. A relic, if you wish. The guards took him in for. He just kind of holds his hand at his head. Shall we say that he drank too much that night? And now they're keeping him. The golden dragon that lives in the mountains nearby came down and accused him of more, and now my relic is late.
What exactly is the nature of this relic?
It is of religious importance to us.
Well, obviously. However, what exactly is the nature? What exactly is that item? So that we can at least recognize it when we see it.
There is a contact on site that can instruct you on how to find the item, for it was never taken from its hiding place. It is simply that we have no one to deliver it.
That is a little complicated, but all right.
If you arrive with the package sealed, then I will see you in good faith.
And if we arrive with the package unsealed,
Then I can only assume that curiosity took the better of you, and that you hold no faith in our grand designs.
fair enough. I can bring it here. We'll open it together. Jeez.
No, 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 no. Well, perhaps. If you do indeed succeed, I can see no harm in it.
Tell Bakir unboxing video.
Hello there, gamers. We're gonna unbox this gift in Tel Bakir.
Yes. Sure. Sure. They don't, at the very least, they're not trying to kill us.
Low
And they
standards.
can't seem to be able to go ahead with the coup. Additionally, the coup doesn't look
If
like
you're
it
gonna,
was as
are you bringing
one-sided.
up the fact that you think they're planning
No,
a coup?
I'm just talking to myself basically
Okay,
in my head. And it's like I'm just reasoning that. I mean, I do have to keep the dungeon master in like, you know,
I get you.
I, I should keep you updated about my motivations and thoughts and such. Like it's an out of character. Just
Yes,
like sort of kind of quick recap.
I get it, I
So
get it.
yeah. So at the very least, it seems like they cannot go ahead with their coup without said relic.
Yes.
In which case, if we go and fetch it, if we go and fetch it, then we will have the capability to decide where this relic ends up.
Mm-hmm.
Destroy it, we can keep it, we can give it to the guy. At the very least, we'll be able to do something about it. We will be able to make an informed decision. Case, yes,
Most
sure.
certainly.
And plus, it goes along with the mission. So, would have to board the ship again and head out to Freyport.
You're going to leave?
Well, we could, but first of all, additional information. Give me all. Ask the guy to give us all the information that he can on his contact, on his current whereabouts and such.
The
What
contact is
exactly
a
we should be
Rakshasha
looking
known to wear a golden shawl. You can find him
for.
at the
Golden
local inn quite easily.
in the local what?
The local inn. The specific inn is called the Dancing Wizard.
But if he was taking in, then well, probably released.
Hmm?
Okay, the local inn. It's a small enough place,
Yes.
so it would probably only have one.
Well, Freyport is a pretty big town. It's like 4,000 people.
4,000. Okay, well, yes, there's probably more than one watering hole.
Mm-hmm.
Any additional information that he can give us?
Only that I prefer that you don't open it and don't like show it to someone.
Well, let's hope it's not a mind prison from, let's say, the Old Republic. So, let us head out
So,
to
as you see
Freeport.
to seek, he seems a little bit like, whoa. Um,
I'm gonna give him the benefit of the doubt because this sounds very suspicious.
what do you mean?
Well, first of all, the Duke is worried about a coup from a religious establishment, which doesn't really seem like a.
Like, let me put it like this. So far in this building, you've not, like, seen an armory. Or place that would be an armory.
Yes, but we did get attacked by goons with claws and grabbers and everything,
Because you ask
and
too many
magical
questions.
creatures. Yes, first and foremost, and additionally, they don't need weapons because they deal with magic.
Mm-hmm. Could be. Well, they are Rakshasha. They are notorious spellcasters.
Yeah,
Although they
they're
are now
kitty
Tressa,
cats.
so they would be lesser.
Why is he surprised though that we agreed?
The main guy was kind of surprised to see that after that you join up with him. But he's, like, glad to see you.
Well, I wouldn't say we've joined up with him. It's more of a, okay, I would rather know the full story rather than just, cut everybody's heads off.
Excellent.
So, if he has nothing shady or horrible to hide, like if he's not bringing in the end of the world, and if the Duke is actually secretly, I don't know, an imposter or somebody who usurped your throne, or your position or your family or whatever, I'll reconsider
Okay.
because he's clearly not a clean person. So at the very least, we would like to know the what the hell is good. So yes, we would like to investigate. First order of business, however, check up on my little friend.
So as you stand up to leave, he reaches out and he shakes your hand and he puts in a few platinum pieces for the road. He says,
That would be really hard to cash in, but sure, thank you.
"I just throw it at a bank. They can get some smaller denominations there, or I can exchange it for you now."
No, we're good. It will probably weigh less than gold pieces. Well, I mean, seriously, gold is very heavy.
Yep. So you leave, and eventually you have to wait a bit because the seek takes a little bit, but he shows up eventually. He looks a bit, shall we say, baffled.
Baffled.
Yeah.
Did they try to seduce you?
No.
This is a very, very uncertain answer. Did they really?
I mean, there were some cute ones.
There you go. Well, according to the chart, there is a slight possibility this can happen. So there we go.
To what chart? Oh my god.
Yes, that chart, the crossbreeding chart.
Oh man. Oh, I just had to bring it up. Okay. So what's the plan? Take a break.
The
Go take a sleep.
what do you mean? Like, you mean in real life?
In game. I mean,
In game, you we started at night. How long is it till morning?
about 6 more hours until it's like morning.
6 more hours until morning. Would it be sensible to head out at this kind of at this time of day?
You're tired, like you've traveled a day already.
I see. In which case, yes, we would like to take a rest. Probably not here, though.
You go back to a nice inn, an establishment. And with that, I'm going to take a quick break. I need to take a leak.
Sure.
I'm back.
Hello.
So, as the morning arrives, You wake up. It's a nice day. Usually is out here. Usually very sunny. Um,
Yeah, probably about 300 sunny days per year.
I mean, there's clouds in the distance, but they'll probably be gone by the time they reach this place. What are you gonna
Head out to the ship,
do? Okay.
and yes,
You have your ship hauled to the other side of town, because skiff can't go over
probably.
land like that. It's a
Yeah,
river. Um, and there you are,
at the
navigating
freight
by
port.
trade routes is easy enough, though. So,
Yeah. Do we need survival for that?
nope, it's really easy to travel by road.
Good enough.
So as you go by road, or by road sounds a bit weird and funky when you
Mm-hmm.
think about it. Um, Eventually, along your journey, you come across, you see a ship in the distance, slowly but surely approaching.
Is it approaching? Are we catching up with us, or is it just moving towards us?
It like appeared from behind a dune and suddenly approached you.
Is it attacking us
There's
or
some people
trying to
on
stop
the
us?
deck, by the looks of it.
Mm-hmm. How much bigger than is it than ours?
How much bigger is it?
Is it of a similar size or more like
It's
something
pretty.
giant or something
It's a bit
small?
larger than yours, yes.
I see. Any hostile action from the crew?
Oh, you see them standing on one side and they're aiming guns at you.
Holy crap. I'm gonna signal the Bree to bring out the shield and get his rifle ready.
Bree is standing ready.
Yep. I'm gonna stand behind the shield, and if they actually attempt to fire, I'm gonna I'm gonna burn this bitch.
They are made of wood, so you can try.
Yes. Who would be the first to move?
You Tissac would be because he has such high initiative.
Yes. What about the pirates? Any one of them moves before us?
They move after you in all together.
Ooh, that's gonna be pretty intense.
Yup. Like they see you
Those
together, so
little
they're like,
blocks, are those like the catamaran legs?
the what? Yes, those are little what do you call them?
Yeah, catamaran
Legs? Huh.
legs. I suppose it's like fins or I'm not
The little side
actually.
parts.
Yeah, let me just look it up and read what it does. Multi-hull. So I suppose it's like secondary hulls on the sides.
Huh.
There we go. I mean, it's not exactly hydrofoil or something like that. Okay. Since they're approaching us with hostile intent and they try to take us over and just rob us or just kill us.
Oh, they're going straight for the
Uh,
kill.
yes. Do they look in any way similar to the cultists, by the way?
There's some Rakshasha, some lizard men. There's some, there's a little bit of
I
everything rolled.
meant, well, I mean, the cultist had a very particular robes. Do any of these
Nope,
wear the same
they are
robes?
just like pirates for a desert. Like they're like wearing white robes and all
All
that.
right. Well, as they are approaching,
Mm-hmm.
what is Tessa gonna do? Gonna fire on them?
He's gonna open
Shoot
fire
the
on one of the
captain.
pirates.
Yeah, shoot the captain. Or at least shoot the most important looking one.
A shot rings through the air,
Yes,
and
he nailed it.
one of the pirate dudes ain't looking too hot.
Yes.
Just takes a bullet to the chest, but he seems otherwise fine.
It's probably not the most advanced firearm. It probably just hits him really hard. It's just a big ball bearing kind of bullet.
Mm-hmm. Moving on to you, Eka.
Yes. Let's see. I might have a plan for this, but I need to check some skills of mine. I am untrained in this, unfortunately, so it would probably not work very well. And I don't have wings. But what I can do, considering this thing is made of out of wood, is to, let's see. Well, there's a person with a crossbow, I assume, or a rifle at the very least. So I'd like to move next to my pal over here. I would like to use my breath weapon to hit as many of them as possible, and just, I don't know. Assuming how much damage I do, can I just light the ship on fire, just like cut through the side of it?
Possibly. You could possibly set like some of it on fire.
Okay, in which case I would like to fire a line of fire, the laser beam through this, and try to hit these 3 or 4 people.
Okay, you can hit that guy, that guy, and then that guy in
Yeah,
line.
so 3 of them. Okay, let, let me roll for that, which would be in attacks.
Nope, it's under abilities because
Oh,
it's an ability thing.
yeah, ability, click.
Ooh, mixed roll. 1-0,
Yeah,
1-1, and 1-6. So the guy in front is dead. He took a bullet and he just got incinerated by an attack. I'm gonna roll this to see what happens to the ship. Oh, this guy in the back, does he make his reflex save or does he just burn up? He makes a save. He doesn't look good though. He doesn't look good. He's like falls over on his last leg instantaneously. And the guy behind him, does he make a save? He do not. He fails critically and takes that much damage. You also knock the pirate off his feet, the captain off his feet, or someone who looks like the captain at least. Um, and the
or maybe
ship's.
they just take cover.
What?
Well, a bunch of their teammates just get burned by a laser beam of fire. They would probably just like hit the deck.
Oh, they're frightened. They're scared. But the captain like goes, get him. We just gotta get one volley off.
Volley. They probably have cannons, huh?
They do have cannons. Now that you mention it.
Yep.
Let's make a quick check.
Yes.
A cannonball is going to strike at you.
At me personally.
Yes.
Okay. Can I make a reflex save for that, or is it just gonna hit me straight
Roll
on the
reflex
noggin?
save.
If the damn roll 20 will stop lagging like hell. Click.
You
Wow.
take 12 damage as a cannonball whiffs by you.
Ow. Probably like glancing shot. Just hits me in the shoulder or something. But I do have a breastplate, which deflects it. I still get a couple broken ribs from that, probably.
You still are hurting.
Yes. What I would like to do on my next turn, however, once they're done, is going to be peculiar. So what are they doing right now?
I'm rolling a bunch of d8s.
Mm-hmm.
I'm rolling like 3 d8s and a couple of 10s because they did
Mm-hmm.
make a lot of hits.
Yes.
I roll. They take the big guns and they'd use the big guns on the big boy. And the big boy, because it doesn't have the touch AC for it, takes 10 damage. Minus 3, so only 7. As the 2 bullets pling off his armor. You take 17 damage as several crossbow bolts land some pretty good hits on you.
Ow. I'm now a pincushion.
Yeah, Tissac.
Yes.
Tissac looks a bit nervous. Like this is going down south for you, and he doesn't like that. In fact, he's
Yes.
gonna try a sudden block next time this happens.
Sudden block so that he takes the
So he
damage as
adds to
opposed
your
to me?
AC and could potentially
I
block
see.
it. Tissac, roll me your attack roll on the rifle. On the rifle. Ooh. He shoots, and one of the pirates goes down.
Yes.
And then he quickly reloads his. Well, he doesn't have to reload. I think he has a. Yeah, he has got a couple of shots left in this thing. Now it's your turn.
Well, since I've been studying history and everything, and the heroes of the past and such, I would imagine I can use my knowledge in history to see what kind of ship this is and where exactly is the powder keg room.
All right. Roll history.
poorly.
You know that there's probably some powder near the cannons.
Either that or somebody, yeah, it's probably hidden roughly at the back of the ship. So, I would like to use my remaining breath attack in order to try and ignite their powder stores,
Okay.
or at least ammunition stores. Go for the Big Bang. In which case that would be the abilities, and that would be 5 breath again. Click.
Okay. High or low? Tell me high or low.
Hi.
There's an explosion, all right. And it's the cannon shooting at you.
Yep.
Reflex save.
Yep. I'm gonna take the thing with my face. At the very least, I'm gonna try to die epically, and I'm gonna headbutt it if I fail it. Click.
14 damage. You are knocked off your feet by a cannonball.
Ow. Yes.
And then they decide to start peppering the boy. And they roll. Oh, heck. That's not good.
By the way, did he succeed on the save thing?
He doesn't have to because the cannon was going straight. Shot was going for you. I need another one of
I see.
these and another one of these. As they just unload rifle shots. Oh wait, no, rifle shots is times 4. So that'll be another one of those. Well, actually, I prefer to just use singles for this. I hope that he likes. No, it would be 5 d10. I hope he doesn't mind getting blown off the ship.
I'm gonna have to go and look for him later on.
Yeah, this is a lot of damage that's coming out. That's 10. That's 10. That's another 10, so that's 30. That's another 10, so that's 40. 49. 49 damage in a single volley of attacks, which goes down to 46. As your little kobold just gets knocked against the backside of the ship.
This is not going well.
That's what a critical roll does, everyone.
Yes.
Rifle, it's times 4. Jesus.
Yep.
Gets up, wipes his forebrow, activates fast healing, takes a few steps forward, and takes his aim.
Did he restore the 5 points?
Yep. And his
Yep.
aim is true. As another pirate goes down.
How many of them are still inside the ship, by the way?
There's like a crew complement, but they're like not like trained combatants. They're not gonna keep fighting if the captain goes down or something.
I see.
They're like cannoneers specifically.
Yes.
So what are you gonna do, Eka?
Let me check. I might have a trick up my sleeve.
Ooh, gonna get sneaky.
Maybe. Well. Description. Uh-huh. Well, once again, we've been dealing with fire and they're literally riding a giant powder keg. So, let's see. I can either use a spark to specifically ignite, but I assume it needs a line of sight. So that wouldn't work. And my fire beam missed. Or at least it failed to ignite, or maybe it was like surrounded by wet cloth or something. I can also attempt to, let's see, use the, what was it again? There should be a way to. Burning Disarm. To cast that on one of the cannons. Or the stores. Or, well, I probably can't use it on the entire ship, of course. But the cannons are made of metal. So we'll be able to make them unusable at least. Or at least one of them unusable.
Okay. Tell me high or low as you attempt to burning disarm a cannon.
Yes,
Or
hi.
you could go for the nearby powder keg, I don't know.
Well, in which case it won't be metal disarm because it's not metal, it would probably be spark. Just Ignite it.
How far does spark reach?
Let me check real quick. Spark. Range 35 feet, which I assume covers both of the ships.
Okay, yes, you can cover that distance. Roll me
Yeah,
a,
well,
a range attack.
ranged attack. Look. Ooh,
Well,
I have got the wind knocked out of me, yes.
no, but you don't have to worry about that. High or low?
Let's go with low this time.
A fucking 1. So take a guess what's going to happen.
I'm gonna get covered by a bunch of meat chunks.
You're an ear. Roll me a fortitude save to avoid being deafened by this.
Abilities. Uh, defenses, attacks. Oh my god, defenses. There we go, 42 safe. I plug my ears. Not very effectively. It's gonna be permanent ringing from this point onward. Like tinnitus.
Or not. Bree is able to hold strong, but reaches for your head and tries to cover what would be your ears.
Oh no, please don't. I have a hat. I have a nice hat and he doesn't.
The whole pirate ship is just a smoldering crater now. Your ship is knocked off course and would take a little bit of pushing and shoving to get back on its feet.
Yeah, it's probably
But
like on the side or something.
yeah, but
Ouch.
there's just meat chunks.
Yes.
There's just a smoldering crater.
This is one way to deal with ships.
There is, however, something else to be found,
Yes.
and that is a metal chest.
In the remains of the ship, or it just kind
In
of
the
lands
remains of the
next
ship.
to us. Uh-huh. Well, that would probably be the only thing that survives now.
So, let me ask you quickly, what is a spell you'd like to have?
A spell that I would like to have.
Mm-hmm.
Can it be a custom spell, or does it have to come from the
Any
book
spell you'd like.
specifically? Any spell that I would like. Well, something that would allow creative use and non-standard completion, non-standard applications. So I already have a lot of stuff that deals with fire, which I probably have it covered on that in that regard. And I have the cantrips that allow me to be pretty funky with stuff.
Pick a spell of a level you can cast, if you wish.
Yeah. What, you mean an existing spell that I already know
Yeah,
or something?
no, it's not a spell you already know, just a spell on the spell list you don't know already.
Okay. Let me just look through that. So that would be Pathfinder spell list. Finder Oracle spells. Up to level 2.
Admonishing Ray might not be a bad idea.
Let me check that. You fire one non-lethal force ray plus one additional ray for every 4 levels. Maximum free rays each ray deals non-lethal damage. This is interesting. This is like a force push or
Yep.
or some such. You just bash people into. Yeah,
Okay.
I'm not psychic, but I can punch people now.
Are you going to check the one like crate that's not like the dented metal crate that's like the only thing that hasn't been completely decimated?
I thought that's what we found in the crate. However,
Okay, yeah. Because in the crate you find a page of power. I don't know what they're exactly called. There's a name for them. But
hmm
when you have this, you can just cast the spell as if you know it. It's like an infinite use scroll.
infinite use scroll.
Yep.
Is it just regular paper? I will probably need to put it into like a scroll tube or something.
Mm-hmm. It's regular paper, but it's magical, so it won't burn up as quickly as normal. And you also find like a whole heap of gold.
Well, good thing it didn't melt. Good lord. That's a lot of gems, and I love gems. I don't know why, I just love them.
Indeed.
This almost makes it up for broken ribs and, catching the a few cannonballs with my face.
Most certainly.
At the very least, they gave me some reasonable, how would I put it? scars. They would look good.
Unfortunately, like any potion bottles or anything that was available, all been smashed. So
Yes. Anything glass would probably not survive, but yes. What was the intended way to deal with a ship, by the way?
well, I just rolled unlucky in a couple of rolls.
No, I know. I'm just saying, what would be your opinion? Because I just thought about it. It's like, well, they're using cannons, so they probably have powder somewhere. And it would be
Oh,
a neat idea to actually use it. And I'm like, if I succeed on this, and I just how the Monty Python said, I fart in your general direction and I just explode.
heck.
Yes. Well, we've dealt with that. Was that a random encounter, by the way?
Yep.
Or was it somewhat planned? Okay. Well, let's not repeat that again. They probably screwed up the little what's it called? The railing on the top of the ship on the upper deck. But the rest of it is probably fine,
You
largely.
might need some
Maybe a little
repairs if
bit
you want it to be in
singed.
top shape.
Yeah, well, we can probably pick up the pieces of the other ship and just kind of slap them in.
Okay. I can make a sailor check to see how good you can fix it up.
Yeah, I can probably help too, but I'm either not in the. By the way, can he hear me all right?
Yes.
He's not deaf.
Nope. His passes fortitude save. His ears are steel.
He's serious. Really? I didn't know
Apparently.
that. That's kind of badass.
I forgot what the place you're approaching is called.
Freyport.
No, no, no. You're approaching the small in-between village.
Sidon, Freyport, Estrella Macam.
Estrala Macam?
Yes, it's like in the middle with a little oasis to the side of it.
Yes, Estrala Macam. That's where you arrive.
Yeah.
It's been a day's travel. You're probably very tired from all that. Still beaten and bruised as you wait out.
Yes. Yes, I am. Jesus, that was awesome though. That was neat. Um, we arrive in a ship covered in blood and guts from the pirates.
The people are like, probably saw some pirates. Probably saw some pirates.
Probably we blew them the fuck up, but of course we're not going to disclose that. We don't want pirates to attack us more in an attempt for revenge. And of course we're not going. Actually, you know what? We're just going to take this chest and we're going to store it on the ship. I don't care. Steel
Okay.
chests are a good idea. Yes.
You keep the
If
steel
somebody
chests.
blows us up, it will be a good surprise for them. We'll store the good items in there.
So, you arrive at Estrala Macam. I assume that's what it's called. I should have made more notes.
Estrella Macam. Or at the very least, that's how I would pronounce it. Could be
Oh, there it
Estrella
is.
or
Estrala
something.
Macam. Yes, sparkling oasis village. An oasis that happens to be between Tel Alim and Freyport, so it's a nice place to be.
Yeah.
Um, oh, of course, there's a whole. Forgot that the thing I set for
Yes.
my stream is that, so I could have just read it. Whoops. But yes, you arrive there, and
I could
some
just
people
give
give
you
some
the
looks.
map because I have a direct link to that.
No, no, I can pull up the map if I really need to.
Sure.
So, what are you gonna do here? I mean, there's the logically there's the inn. There's some people who are like walking around. There's like a small shipyard for people that are shipwrecked.
Resupply and temp repairs.
This is a good
Fix it
place
for
to
good.
trade. So if you want to spend some of that money,
Yeah. Well, let's see what they have to offer.
well, what do you want
I'd
to buy?
probably look for something.
Because these
I
guys
could
got
look for.
basically everything you'd want. Or I can roll you
Well,
up some shops.
not necessarily. I would be looking for a complement to my short spear.
So you're looking for a weapon.
So I would be looking for a weapon, yes, in this case.
What kind of weapon are you looking for?
Probably something to compensate for the. Well, it's a short stick essentially, right? It's a short spear. It's good for swings and close quarters and such.
Yes, yes.
But it would be interesting. It would be interesting to have, in addition to that, something that shoots from a distance. It's possible for me to look for a rifle because Breeze rifle has been doing pretty well.
Ah, you want a rifle, huh? Let's see if I got something back here. He looks
Hell,
back.
I might go for a blunderbuss. That I mean, I always gravitate towards those kind of guns. So Shotgun. Something that shoots a big fuck off bullet.
Okay. Well, I guess I'll have to modify how the blunderbuss works then.
Hmm.
But they do have a shotgun. Like he pulls out a weapon that just looks like it's like a hand cannon basically. You have
Yes.
to use it in two hands, but it's pretty big. Um, it's designed in such a way that it fires like around 3 shots before it's empty.
Hmm.
Is this what you want?
This does sound interesting.
You
How
can load two
much?
kinds of shells in it. You can load one that shoots a whole place, and you can shoot one that shoots one really good.
Hmm.
Up to 20
How
feet
much does it
accurate.
cost? Ooh, 20 feet seems reasonable. That's at least,
If you use the
that's,
shells, it will just be a 20-foot cone.
yes.
Well, a weapon like this is expensive,
How much would you like for it?
Well, 5,000.
5,000.
I mean,
So,
arms are expensive as all hell.
yes, of course. I would not expect it, anything less than that. So, we do have the coins. We do have the roughly, right, so we have almost 8,000 from that. Is there anything that Tisek might want as well?
No, the sec is fine. He has fine weapons with him, so.
Sure. In which case, I would like to grab the blunderbuss. Sure. That works for me.
Okay, let me enter the data into the machine as to what kind of attack we got.
Hmm.
I'll make 2 attacks for it. Weapon
Thank you.
attributes. It has a range of 20. It has a crit range of 2, but that's okay.
Yes, and I am going to show you an interesting thing. Here you go. Would go to private chat. Click. Here you go. This specific timing. You click and it'll say it.
All weapons in slow motion.
Yep. It's a very old-fashioned. It doesn't resemble anything real because it's old to history, but it does look neat.
Okay. Range, attack type, ranged. So as you can see, if you shoot a shell, that's 2d8. If you shoot the fragmentation across a cone, it's only 1d8.
But it covers an entire. Well, at the very least, it hits everybody in the first line.
Yeah, it shoots everyone pretty hard.
Yeah. There's probably a shooting range somewhere, so I can probably go there and just pop some bullets. Will we be keeping track of ammunition or
Nope.
something? Because
No,
it's
no, it's
probably
not important.
okay. Fair enough. So let me just test it on some sand piles or something. So
He has like a little testing range you can go at.
yep. So 1D it would be shrapnel.
Yes.
There we go. And this one be a slug. Click. So let's test it. Boom. Boom. Oof.
Jesus.
Yeah. So it does a tiny bit of damage to everybody in front of it, but it does a whole lot of damage to one person in front of it.
Weapon notes, 20-foot cone. There you go.
Yes. Yeah, that works. And the other one would be just 20-foot distance. Is it in the miscellaneous? Yeah.
Oh, I think I might have changed this a bit. No, 2d8's enough.
20 feet is fine. I mean, I can probably run up to somebody and just close. Click. 20 feet cone. Oh, wait, it's not supposed to be a cone. It's supposed to be 20 feet. Just like that. Click. Click. There we
No,
go.
no,
That's
no. The
good.
range is whatever. Sure.
What?
The range is already here on the.
Oh, yeah, but it's just a note.
Yep.
Yeah.
But with that, you now own a cool gun.
Yes. It is neat. It was worth getting shot at, I suppose.
It was worth almost blowing yourself up, I guess.
Yes. That was really unfortunate though. It was unfortunate, I mean, that the fight went not exactly as we intended it, but we've managed to go through it.
By the way, the guy that runs the store is a troglodyte who has a mechanical arm.
Nice.
Yeah.
I'm gonna shake that arm because I love it and think,
Pleasure to serve you. What are you buying,
thank you.
stranger?
What are you buying? Yeah. Well, with
You
that,
get lectured by Tissac, who's like, don't be so dangerous about things.
what do you mean dangerous?
Because you got into a fight and you almost died.
But they attacked us first.
I guess. But doesn't mean I want you to be in danger.
Well, I don't want to be in danger too. It's just like danger happens.
Fair enough.
In which case, we should probably get a rest and then head out to Freyport next day.
Okay.
What is the Freyport simp?
That's it's basically like a temporary camp that keeps getting resupplied by like traders and people that are taking a break.
I see.
It's like an impromptu way station.
Yes.
They sell their excess water for high prices.
They do have access water, despite being in the middle of the desert.
Well, they have like extra water, excess water.
Ah, well, that's what I'm saying. In the middle of the desert, they have extra water that they can throw at other people.
Yep. Otherwise, nothing happens on your journey. If only because the fact that a pirate ship blows up, it tends to make pirates a bit more skittish. Debris besides the main road does that to people, as did the
Yeah.
thunderous boom.
Yes.
In the distance, you see a large, like, sandworm leviathan, but they don't get near the trade roads.
Well, and also we are always moving single file, so it does not attract Shai Hulub.
Oh, what?
It in the dune, giant sandworms are called the Shai Hulud or something like that. I might be butchering that actually. Let me look it up. Uh, it's Shai Hulud, not Hulub, as I
Okay,
said the second. So
okay.
Shai Hulud, that would be the sandworm in dune. And if you move irregularly, as in you don't move single file, then they will detect the vibrations in the soil and they will attack and kill you.
Strange.
Yes. Also, one of the main characters just turns into one later on, but that's just weird. So, yes.
Soon enough, you arrive at Freyport, where the sand starts to get a bit more dirty, and your
Hmm.
boat finds less grip. It's at the end of the day that you arrive there. It's a city surrounded by a small wall and a fort. Like, it's well reinforced. It's clear that in yonder yesteryear, before the sizzling sands were taken by the human kingdom, that this was a staging ground for many events.
At the very least, they can defend themselves, so that's good.
Indeed. At the city gates are like people watching, mostly like people checking tradesmen, making sure that nothing illegal leaves the country. You've probably met these people if you come from somewhere outside of the sizzling sands to here.
Hmm.
The guy at the gate goes, I always remember a face. I always remember a face.
So he does recognize us, or Bree.
Hmm. The guy recognizes someone, and he points to you guys.
Well, yes, that's what I said. He recognized me or Bree.
What brings you back? I thought you had business with the Duke.
We're actually here on to pick up a package for a very important individual.
Who might that be? The Duke?
Uh, Potentially,
Bluff check.
because bluff check. Well, potentially, maybe. We would like to not disclose that, and let's see if he actually believes it. Click. Come on, click. Well, he does not believe me.
No, 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 no. I can't believe you guys would go on an early. You can't just go on an early vacation doing odd jobs. Come on. A little bit of credit to
Eh,
the Duke.
eh,
Come on, you can tell me. I won't tell anyone.
won't tell anyone. Well, I mean, I can be like completely blunt about it, and he would not believe me, thinking I'm just bluffing him. Oh, we are actually. I just kind of beckon him closer, and like whisper to his ear. It's like, no, we're actually on a trying to save the world from a global cataclysm, and for that we had to divert our ways here and fight through a massive battle with the pirates.
That sounds about like the
If
kind of stuff you guys get into.
just
You
bullshit
heroes
him.
always get in trouble.
Yes,
Well, don't let
and
me think you.
he probably can't tell if it's bullshit or not,
Or he doesn't care.
or he doesn't care. Yes,
But
I
you are
mean
let
it's a
in.
random dude that we've seen. He lets us in. That's good.
So, you
Yes.
head over to where?
We did pick up a location and an individual, so we would like to investigate where this person is. They did say that he's going to be in the inn, and we would like to ask for directions to the inn if we didn't visit it last
The
time.
main inn is on the main square. In the center of
Yep.
the main square is a small black pyramid made of
Hmm.
gleaming black material. But,
Just a pyramid,
yes,
not
a
like
small
a
20-foot
monument.
tall pyramid.
20 feet is not small, but okay.
Yep.
Reminds me of something. Find it? Yes, I can find it. Look.
Heck.
Yes, it's a pyramid that is like intersected by those cuts, and there is a fire in the middle of it. Anyway,
Cool.
yes,
So, you
yes,
see the inn, or at least you see an inn called the Dancing Wizard, right off
yes,
to the side.
yes. We'll head in inside.
There's like two female halflings sitting behind the counter. It's a nice inn. It's nice white brick, very nice place. She waves hello. What do you do?
Wave hello as well. Approach her and inquire if she's familiar with the specific individual. We dropped the name.
You don't have a name. You were only given like a description.
Description. Well, fair enough. In which case, we're gonna say, has she seen anyone fitting this description?
She points
Basically.
like behind you, and you see someone with a golden shawl sitting near the window, sort of looking outside.
Yes. Well, it could be any Rakshasa with a golden shawl, but yes. Thank you. We're gonna drop her a coin, I suppose.
How nice.
Silver piece. Yes. For services rendered. I mean, we're not exactly strapped for cash, so we can pay the people who are actually helping us. So brightens
Mhm.
their day and makes them a little bit more interested in helping us in the future. So
Mhm.
I know, building a network of sorts
Most likely.
of informants. This is stupid, of course, and it's probably not going to work like that. But yes. And then we head off to the table where the Rakshasa in the golden shawl is sitting.
And Shasha looks at you and goes, "Hey, how can I help you?
Hello.
How can I help you
Did
on
we
this fine
catch
day?"
the name of the priest, by the way?
He introduced himself as Shadow Asteady.
Shit. Oh, 1 second. Where's my book? Click, click. Here's my pen and paper. Can you repeat that again?
Shadow?
Shadow, as in shadow, just like
Yeah,
shady, right?
yeah.
Shadow?
And then Asteady. A
Asteri.
S T E R I.
Okay. In which case, we would like to introduce ourselves and say that we have been sent here by Shadow Asteri and inquire him about what the hell happened to the package that the Shadow was expecting.
He only replies with Varsel Mativir.
Of course, can I or Bree translate it?
No, he's waiting for something.
He's waiting for a response.
For a
In which
continuation.
case, we would like, yes. Wait, does that match the what was written on the compass?
Could be.
Because I don't remember. Uh, okay, so that would be linguistics, I suppose.
No,
To
if you want to
rece-
remember if it was on the compass, you need a compass, unless you gave it off.
well, yeah, well, sure. I'm gonna take out the compass and I'm gonna read it from the compass, I suppose. If it is the same phrase.
It is the same. It starts off the same, at least.
Well, yeah, and I will just read it off the compass, or at least remember the phrase from before, because we probably had a lot
That
of
would be
time to take a
Ericus
look at it.
Petisse.
Atticus Petissa.
He nods and goes, okay, okay, what brings you here then? Didn't know there was anything going on around here lately.
Yes, and now we will mention that Shadow Asteri has sent us to inquire about the package that has been missing. What
Most
happened to
shame.
it?
Got sent to jail over just being drunk. Now it's late, now it's late. I've taken the liberty of recovering the item. Can I trust you will leave town immediately to deliver it?
What's the hurry?
Well, it's late.
Well, yes, it is late, but what's the hurry specifically? Why could you not deliver it?
I have to stay here in case someone else shows up.
Someone else, define someone else.
Someone else of our order?
Why were you
I'm the
tasked
contact
with
in
the?
this town. I need to keep communications going in case someone
I
shows
know
up.
honestly, I kind of feel that like he's bullshitting. Is it possible for me to use
Sense
sense
motive?
motive on this? Yes,
Go.
sure. One sec. Sense motive click.
Odds are he just gets paid to sit around here.
Yeah, well, the problem is he was tasked with delivering a thing and he fucked
He
it up.
wasn't tasked
So,
with delivering a thing. Someone else was tasked with delivering a thing. And that person's in jail.
oh, I thought he was in jail.
No, he's just the
Okay,
contact in the town.
fair, fair enough. Or at least as far as we can tell. That is fair enough then. Yes, you can trust us. We don't really have any other business here, so we would be on our merry way.
He hands you a bag, which feels kind of heavy, and there's a little string at the top that ties it together.
And obviously, if you untie the string, it will be obvious that it's probably tied with some specific knot.
Or the string changes color when it's untied. Who knows? These guys can
Yes.
probably afford some nice security.
Or maybe it's one of those little thingies from Wolf Among Us. You know, they put it on. Ah, that's a spoiler, and I wanted you to get
Go
to play
ahead.
it someday. Okay, so several
Wait,
characters
wait, wait.
in this
Give me a
game.
second. I'm gonna mute you so people can't hear it. Go. Mm-hmm. Yep. Oh, Jesus. That's extreme. You done? Or need to say more? Okay.
That's the premise.
That's incredible. Okay.
Yes, that was a little bit of a spoiler. So
No one
no
got to hear it
spoilers.
though. so, uh,
Yes.
so what do you want to ask? You want to ask him anything?
Uh, what's in the bag?
You don't know.
We haven't been told. In fact, we have been warned that we would under no circumstance that we are under no circumstance to look inside the bag. This is all we have been told.
Strange. The guy that was supposed to deliver it was told. I was told, but I guess I can keep it a secret. Just kind of gives a
Why
little
would
like
you?
little sneaky smile, like hee hee hee.
Well, yes, of course, but you know, we can butter you up if you
How
really
do you
want
intend to
that.
butter me up? I might get in trouble if I tell. You can tell they probably
Well,
won't really get in trouble.
of course. So you're being paid to sit around and do nothing. You could probably use a bunch of some extra money for the booze
How
or for
much
the
extra
food.
money are we looking at? I might have a tab that needs paying.
A platinum piece.
Mmm. Kind of rubs his chin. I don't know. Platinum piece.
Hmm.
You look like someone who's got more money. He's got a full plate. That's more than one platinum piece.
Fair enough. Two, this is more than enough to feed you for a year, assuming we're still using the same kind of tradition, like a single gold piece will feed a person for a year. Two platinum pieces will probably feed them for a while.
That's not really how it works. Several silver pieces is like a week's wages.
Week's wages and the gold piece then, and the platinum piece. I mean,
A platinum piece is like 100 gold silver pieces. So
100 silver pieces. Okay, let's double
okay,
that. How about two?
okay, okay.
Well, at the
How much
very
do you know?
how much do you know? Well, we are sort of kind of new recruits of sorts. Should we spill the guts to him? Honestly,
On what?
I don't feel like it. On the whole situation between Mr. Shadow and the Duke.
I don't know. It's up to you.
I like Danahani and Shadow Asteri. Let's drop those two names and say, well, that depends. How much do you know about the relation between Alik Danahami and Shadow Asteri then?
Alikdanha. Oh yeah, that's his full name. Yes.
Yes!
Um. Well, I know they're not related. He just kind of shrugs. He doesn't know what you're aiming for.
Aiming for. Is it possible for me to sense motive on this? Maybe
Go.
he knows more. He can let us up. Okay. Click.
Just kind of rubs his neck. He knows jack shit.
He doesn't know anything. Well, it appears to be there is a somewhat other power struggle, or at least some sort of a feud between those two individuals in the city. We've been trying to unravel this mystery, but unfortunately, everybody has been very unforthcoming with the information.
Well,
Right now, Shadow has sent us to return this item in the bag, and he told us not to open it. I
mm-hmm.
am still, however, curious to find out what exactly is in the bag, and I can do so without opening it by asking you.
Hmm. Well, it's one of the stones.
That's not exactly. This doesn't exactly narrow it down. Explain it like I'm five and I was just enlisted into the order, into the cult, I guess. Well, I wouldn't call
Roll
it a cult. I
diplomacy.
would call it an art. Yes! I'm very poor at this, but oh wait, no, I'm actually good at it.
Well, let me roll for him.
Yes. He is, after all, rolling against me.
I don't know how much I can tell you. It's a stone. It's like he doesn't look like he wants to spill this quite yet. Like
Oh, of
I
course.
I I, I
I just kind of slowly, very like just painfully slowly slide him a third platinum piece.
it's one of the stones, you know, like one of the stones. You must
Which
know about them.
stones exactly? Unfortunately, no. We haven't really been informed, and everybody, once again, has been very
So you
unforthcoming.
don't know the legend about Martivir?
Uh, Only the basics. Uh, Let me roll the history again. Wait, have I already rolled about? Yes, because we rolled for it, and I definitely know this history.
So you know something else, or at least you recall, like it's a vague detail. It's a rumor at most.
Hmm.
Is that towards the end of the war, like Bahamut and Tiamat were kind of reaching a stalemate, and Bahamut was able to like, I'm gonna send you away, Tiamat, never to shine on this world again. Following that, Martivir was like, hey, so you guys gonna chill? Bahamut did not chill. Um, and when Bahamut refused to chill, they got into a bit of a scrap, which Bahamut happened to win, and kind of did the same thing he did to Tiamat
Send him away.
in a very specific way, because he kind of has a bigger reason not to get this guy back over Tiamat. Because something about Martivir, and this is where a lot of scriptures are kind of vague. Something about Martivir is something that Bahamut fears more than Tiamat.
That is peculiar. Also, I love it because it's history and world building and everything. So, so Bahamut has locked Martivir
Mm-hmm.
and Tiamat, both of them,
Yes, but in different ways.
and the other stones related to that.
Yes, very much so.
So I would imagine the cult is actually wanting to release one of them.
Potentially.
And what would exactly that achieve? I don't suppose powerful beings would actually pay you back for releasing them, assuming they had the powers to destroy worlds and everything. To them, we are basically
There
nothing
is a
but
way by
ants.
which there is a way by which Martivir's promise will be made true. Guaranteed.
And okay, do I know what Martivus promises? Peace?
Roll me an Arcana check for this one.
Okay, clicky.
Nope.
Oops, I rolled a 1. I
All that
just
carry
have
his
no clue.
blessing. All that carry his blessing. And he kind of looks at the kobold like really shortly. All that carry his blessing. We'll be safe.
So all the lizards are gonna be okay.
Mm,
Or at least some of the lizards.
mm,
Yeah, okay, but you're a Rakshasa. How exactly is this gonna affect you?
we are finding a
You won't be
way.
so away. I went away.
Mm-hmm. If you
Okay, that would actually explain why the hell the kobolds are hanging out with Rakshasa in the city. That is that is peculiar.
These stones will not be needed until we're ready for it, so to speak.
So do these stones contain the essences of Mortivir or whatever, or are they like the stones that prevent their return?
I don't know the details on that actually. I just know that these stones are important.
Going full fifth element here, I suppose. Well, that is technically a weapon of mass destruction.
Not really. It's not going to destroy anything.
Well, it's going to release the gods that are going to destroy things. Again, only the kobolds will be saved, and I'm unfortunately not a kobold. Well, I mean, it's not like this entity will believe it's like, oh, hey, I'm actually just a very tall kobold. They can probably tell that I'm not. And I don't think a lucky spark check is gonna blow them up, huh? Yeah, gotta think this over. But yes, technically it's a very important stone. And what we know is that they don't have all of them. So what I I don't want to surrender it straight up. But at the same time, I'm not entirely sure if showing it to the Duke would be a good idea. Perhaps Duke will roll with it and allow us to actually use it, but like at least at the very least he'll be made aware of the situation.
Yep.
I I I don't really have any additional questions. What I'm gonna say, mm, well, for now we're just gonna toss it into the freaking steel trunk that we picked up from the pirates, and probably start heading out first thing in the morning.
Excellent.
Additionally, what I'm thinking about, well, obviously bid farewell, and he took away our. We should really, at least I should, go back to the money. So we had roughly 4,000 to start. We found roughly 8,000 later, and we spent 5,000 on the
Yep.
gun. 5,000 on the gun. So that leaves us with 6,000 GPs, roughly.
Mm-hmm.
Let's just assume different places have different like exchange rate. So we have that. And how many platinum pieces did we get from Shadow?
I gave you like 10.
10. So we just gave 3 to this guy, so we still have 7. And probably just assorted silver and copper pieces,
Yep.
not really worth counting those. So there we go. Here's that. So we would head over back to, 1 second, where's the map? Head over to Telbakir
Mm-hmm.
with a stone in the bag, in the trunk. And what I would probably do is either try to hide it or conceal it. But inform the Duke that there are these things and see if he knows anything about them. And inquire on what would our next step be.
The item is quite magical, so anyone with detect magic will be able to see it quite easily. But if we just leave it in the steel chest, it will be difficult to find.
Yeah, as long as it doesn't get stolen.
Okay. Okay.
I'm gonna keep Kobold guarding it.
Gonna hire a kobold off the street.
No, I'm gonna use Bree.
Okay. Bree is gonna guard it.
Yes,
It takes you 2 days to get back, but nothing happens.
yes.
And now you are back in Tel Alim. Alakim.
Yeah, I would not be able to survive another pirate attack. Good lord. At least we know how to kill them easily.
You've probably like fully healed up by now, so.
Yes. Well, I meant in a sense that, they would probably, the way I see it, the pirates would actually, like discover what happened
Mm-hmm.
because it's organized crime. It's not like just a random schmuck is not going to survive like that, right? So they would at least try to investigate and discover that, oh, their ship blew up. So either they will, from this point onward, attack without cannons, our particular ship, or they will take measures to prevent the explosions of powder.
Mm-hmm.
So there we go. As Bree, as the second guarding the chest,
Okay.
I will head over to the Duke and update him on the situation.
So what are you gonna tell Dan Astroban or Alik?
Yes.
His guards are
How would
standing
it?
beside him. He appears in human's form, as always.
Yes. What would be the proper way to address him, by the way?
Oh, he doesn't care too much. You're a hero.
Like
You've got
Your
standing.
Majesty or
Mid.
something? Yeah, sure. Well, so far we have discovered that the cult is actually looking for a certain item for magical stones that are related to the legend of Mortimer
Mm-hmm.
and Bahamut and Tiamat.
Dragons. That's no good business.
Yep.
If it does not concern Bahamut.
And they have at least one of the stones.
Hmm.
However, they can't use them until they're ready. And we are unable to discern what exactly they're preparing for.
Could
Are
my
you familiar?
extensive library help?
Most likely.
Excellent.
Because right now I can only operate with something that I've read as a kid.
Mm-hmm.
So if you would allow us access, or if you would be interested in
What
actually
topic will you
looking,
be researching so I can ask my assistants to prepare?
sure. We'll be researching the legends. Anything they think might be related to the legend of Mortivir, Bahamut, or what was the first Tiamat? As well as the stone, well, probably yeah, stones. How did you call it? A stone of power or something?
No, I just called it a stone.
Oh, it's probably a very broad subject, so anything related to stones and these three names.
Very well. On your way, hero.
Thank you, respectfully bow, and head out following a servant, I suppose, that leads me to the
Yes,
library.
you are led to a small annex
Mm-hmm.
where very old books are kept. These are books on ancient topics.
Yeah, well,
Um,
no breathing fire here.
cool. Some books have already been assembled.
Hmm.
Um, you can go and try to read them, but it would take you a long time to read through all of them. I'm going to.
How long exactly? An entire day?
I'm actually going to need a fortitude save out of you.
Are these books dangerous? Are they gonna
No,
snap at me?
no, it's just to stop yourself from falling asleep. You manage to read through a couple of books, and one of the things that catches your eye is it's not a very often cited subject, but it is something that comes up.
Hmm.
Um, there are a few like main theories on why Bahamut was like, "Hey, Martivir, how about you get your little ass out of here?" For one, Martivir's name means peace, as you know.
Yes.
Um, he is known by his citation of powerful peace through kobolds, also known as Versal Mativir, Ericus Petisse. Um,
That's a mouthful.
yep, that's the motto. Um, what like the main thing is that there's three main theories. One, he made some sort of disease that turns dragons into kobolds. And he wanted to stop the whole conflict by saying, you know what, you're all little baby boys now. You're not going to be a problem. Um, another theory is that he found a special type of magic that could be used to control all lesser beings. Um, basically, if a dragon speaks this word, he controls all lesser beings. And Mamba was like, hey, that's a little bit too far, don't you think, boyo? And the final thing he discovered was a method to take a dragon's life force and focus it beyond just a breath weapon, but take the life force of other dragons. Meaning that if you could gather enough allies, which someone who is an arbiter could probably do, he could unleash a terrible, terrible power onto the land.
Unleash a terrible power. How would that work?
It is not clear. The speculation is kind of like some sort of power, like they can do something great and magical.
Hmm.
They are referred to as the Curse of Scaly Kind, or the Curse of the Kobold, depending on how specific the source is.
It
Um,
turns people into kobolds?
dragons into kobolds. The sources specifically mentioned that it turns dragons into kobolds. Um,
Well,
well, what?
well, that's peculiar.
It
That is
actually
an
claims that the
interesting.
first original kobolds were just dragons made, and they grew from there, which gives it's a lot of kobolds believe because it gives claim to their draconic nature.
I
Um,
look back at Bree and I say, like, oh wait, he's back at the ship. Yeah, never mind. I'm just gonna ask him later on.
another source, the other source, the whole is called the commanding word,
Mm-hmm.
and the final one is known as the dragon's lens. That's what the
Lens.
theories are called, as the supposed reasons that
I
Bahamut
see.
was like, "Hey, nice guy, get the fuck out of here."
He probably showed up and ate everything in his get out.
But those are the theories.
Mm-hmm.
Dinner time, so we're gonna have to call it.
Okay.
So we're gonna call it here. How's that sound?
Sounds good.
Next time, we're gonna start off with a dream sequence.
Oh no, I'm gonna fall asleep.
At the books, yes, at the books. Streams